The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience presented by DraftKings 2020 Week 3 picks against the spread. NFL game previews, survivor picks for two of us, and some SUPERLOCKS free money in the entire shebang, even a mini Cust Corner. If you're watching the video version of this show, we do have some golf picks for the Corrales too, but those are in its own separate video. If you are watching or listening to the audio podcast, just hit the time codes and you can find out to the end when we talk about the golf. At least Geoff and I will be talking about the golf. I don't even know if Tim knows that there's golf going on this week. Frankly, I don't really care unless he picks someone who says that cannot win. Then you probably want to pick that guy because a very strong week for the Anderkers, maybe one of the biggest ever. If you're out there right now, smash a like for the episode in the comment section. Please tell me your favorite over-under or spread of the week for Week 3 in the NFL. And if you're serious about betting, highly recommend you use ftnbets.com, promo Mayo, to get yourself a discount. But if you don't want to sign up for anything, go to ftnbets.com, check out the prop shop, and you can shop around very easily to find the best lines for any game, any prop, anything that you want. Geoff Fienberg's in the studio. And Geoff, did you know that if you hit the description, you can find the Pat Mayo Experience Listeners League link for the week on DraftKings, rake free. You got to play in that.
I did know, and it's always great, and it's always rake free.
Always rake free. Got to have it rake free. That's the move. You look happy.
I'm happy for a couple reasons, but
we're saving the golf for the golf.
But I was just giggling, thinking about I'm sure I don't even know the whole story, but just like 2 or 3 layers of Tim's like cursed week just had me giggling.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. For the updated bets, as the week goes along, I do a Sunday morning live show, 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Mayo Media Network, which everyone should subscribe to right now. Tell some friends, too. It's not like you're giving away some great information by telling people to subscribe to Mayo Media Network. Trust me on that one, especially this show. But I guess we should bring in everyone. Paul is behind the camera. The Coin is in studio already and joining us via the internet. It is Tim Cust.
Tim Cust.
That's not my name.
Good weekend for you, man.
Well, I had a pretty good record against the spread.
You were 9-7.
I'll take that after week 1. Winning record is definitely moving in the right direction. Alive in suicides. U.S. Open was a lot of fun to watch. Emmys were on. But you said you didn't watch the Emmys. I attempted a couple of times, but it wasn't the same thing when people aren't all at the ball and in black tie and everything. It's just not quite the same experience.
I actually did watch a lot of the Emmys. I had it on side-by-side screen with the Sunday night game. I thought it was way better. We didn't get any of those stupid interstitials. It kind of flew by. We got to the awards, the stuff that I want to see. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, every time Jimmy Kimmel wasn't on, it was good because he wasn't on. But nevertheless, I just didn't find it to be as engaging as it could have been. Put it that way.
Do you care for Schitt's Creek?
I like Schitt's Creek. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Really,
it's perfectly fine.
A bunch of Toronto Jewish people. You weren't in on that?
I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just I don't know. Knew that guy just as the host of the Hills After Show on MTV.
That's what he did before this?
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's just anything with Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. I'm all in on.
No, it's like this this great show. I don't know. I tried. It just never hit me.
Well, it got put on Netflix in 2017, and I think a lot of people just watched it for the first time during the pandemic because they were out of things to watch on Netflix. Like, hey, what's this Schitt's Creek? I've heard people mention this before, and then they just binged it. Very easy binge.
I don't want to knock the show. I'm sure it's good.
But you do?
But if that's the best thing on TV, then TV's in a dark place.
There's just a lot of things on TV right now. I personally find it hilarious, so I'm not the right one to talk to about this.
I have a whole other show. Like, I need to talk to Tim offline about like the new shows. Like, are there even new shows?
Well,
Normally,
I know
that's
this
like
is
the
us
time
coming
of the-
back in November.
No, but I need something new, like a new cop show about some like. I guess cop shows could be like so canceled. But like, I don't know, some disgruntled detective who the world's, who's been wronged by the authority.
I haven't seen the promos on CBS and Fox during football. That's usually where they roll this out because they have a huge audience for these games, and they haven't rolled out the promos for it yet. So I don't know.
I got a show for you. You probably haven't watched it. It's an older show. But if you have Amazon Prime, just watch Bosch.
I'm in the last season. It's
Oh,
the best
I
thing.
like Bosch.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
If you're looking for that type of show, that's the show.
That's gritty,
what about
gritty
Drew
old
Barrymore
detective
as a
who's
television
been like
host?
wronged.
Yeah, with Marlowe from The Wire.
Yeah, a couple old Wire people in there.
Yeah.
And I told you the police chief.
Yeah, Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Fringe is also another one you can go back and watch too. I like Fringe. But record from last week, after a hot 12-4 start week 1, was the only loser of the week at 5-11. I'm still winning for the year at 17-15. You, the Coin, and Cust, all 9-7. You and I both at our Super Locks last week. We improved to 2-0 on our Super Locks. Tim could not get the Patriots to cover the 4.5, so he drops to 0-2 on his Super Locks. We both survive a nail-biting type games in Survivor. I had Tennessee. Tim had the Chiefs. We move on, and I told you before we started the show that Tim's free money teaser came down to just the Saints winning on Monday night. That's all that they needed to do. I stared at that Raiders money line and just couldn't bring myself to bet because I thought the Saints were going to win too. Obviously, since it was the weekend of the most Ander curses of all time, of course, that translated into Monday, and the Saints lost to the Raiders. So Tim lost his free money teaser to fall to 0-2 for the year and 6-69. That is now 22 consecutive losses for Tim on the free money teaser.
So close.
Nice work.
So close. I thought I had it. It was in my grasp.
You really should have. It was the week where teasers couldn't lose and you still managed to lose.
The only favorite to lose of the whole board.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you put Tennessee in there and then your push killed your teaser. There's not a lot of...
A push wouldn't kill your teaser.
A multi-leg teaser, a push oftentimes does kill it.
No, it doesn't.
Depends on
No,
your
it doesn't.
book. Sometimes it does. No, sometimes it does.
No, it doesn't.
Only a two-game.
I was researching this exact question.
Yeah, on a 2-game teaser, yes, it would.
Only a 2-game,
No,
but
on
you
a
never...
multi-game.
No.
It's nice to see that Tim actually bets
It would
this.
just
on
turn
one
your...
side, on one side, it's just a
No.
loss.
No. That's if you do like a super. Like
Yeah.
a 10-pointer or something.
Like a sweetheart, yeah.
Yeah, sweetheart.
Which you didn't play.
No, but there are circumstances in which you lose on a push. And
Listen,
so you should.
Tim lost with the only favorite on the board and a game he teased through 0.
Yes. Shocker. Nice work, Tim.
Yeah. Good. Exactly. I don't know what else to say other than we're getting closer.
Yeah. You had the week where you should have won and didn't win. It's all up from here, I'm sure. You want to jump into the games?
Yes, please.
All right. We don't want to rehash how you killed poor Paris Campbell.
That was crazy.
You lost a 15-1 bet on it.
That must have been like 3 minutes into the game because that happened before I even was watching football.
He should have had a huge day. There was no argument against playing Paris Campbell this week. He should have been huge. So I really thought he's going to do great. And I didn't even put it on Twitter. I just mentioned it to you guys in a thread that I liked him. And then I find out that it was on Twitter and people were nervous. And then they bring the card out for the poor fellow. Like, apparently this is becoming a recurring scene on this show where I just have to take accountability for things. And so I'll take accountability for a bad pick because obviously he got injured. It was a bad pick. Take accountability for Drew Lock not being a dark horse MVP. That was wrong for me to say he was going to be because now he's going to miss.
You've killed the Broncos. You've killed them. Broncos fans hate you.
No, last week he said Bronco
get in
fans need to get a clue.
Yeah, and what happened to the Broncos this week?
I
I mean,
think
they can be upset about me for Drew Lock if they want, but I mean, it's not my fault.
the curse is growing more powerful in the sense that like peripherally
Okay.
it can cause damage.
Yeah. Well, look at the Jets
how-
so far. Bryson.
Well, those are direct hits. Those are direct hits.
That's like B7, like direct hit, sunk battleship.
Yeah, that those are direct hits. I'm more talking about things like because he was like, I like Denver to be the last wild card team. I like Drew Lock to have a good season. We're all going to be wrong on some of them, but he's just getting not just his like hard stances. He's just getting pegged off everywhere.
Emmanuel Sanders.
He's
basically
getting clipped.
shut out.
This guy's getting clipped. Anything he puts into the atmosphere is getting clipped off.
Yeah, it's not good, Tim. You really need to reassess what you actually say. Maybe you should become a mute.
Saquon Barkley being my first overall pick in the keeper league, done for the season.
That's true.
All of this to just resurrect Jerick McKinnon.
Who I drafted.
Well,
Yeah, that's why I'm nervous about Jarek this week. Everyone's lining up to play him in fantasy, and Tim's like, "Oh, look how right I am about Jarek." Go get Jeff Wilson.
Jarek is going to have a huge week.
So
but
Jeff,
even like that loser Mullins coming in to play against the Jets, like little stuff like that just drove me crazy.
That's a great subplot.
If people don't remember that Tim was once very triggered that Nick Mullins was verified on Twitter before Tim was, which Tim still is.
He has fewer followers and doesn't have any fake accounts trying to pretend to be him.
They're all those fake accounts are you though.
No, they're not.
They
None of them are.
They all are you.
No, it was. I am not afraid to again take accountability for bad picks.
Nick
and I was
Mullins
just dead
has
wrong about certain
been
things.
on your like biggest rivals list. This would essentially be like if Darren Rovell was playing quarterback for Carolina this week.
No, not quite.
Or that host
Quite
of that LA Drive Time show.
Yeah, Weiss. Yeah, if he were the quarterback, that's exactly it.
All right. Thursday night game, Miami at Jacksonville. The Jags, worst team in the league. Favored by 3 points, though, against the Dolphins. 48 is the over. Oh, cracking a DC early in the show here. We got some time to go. I'm actually kind of excited to watch this Thursday night game. I like both these teams. I find them kind of fun to watch. It doesn't look like Byron Jones is going to play for Miami. That's problematic for their secondary. But at the same time, 48's a lot of points. Like, do you think that's going to hit? Like, I bet the Jags over last week against Tennessee. They just tend to play in a lot of these high-scoring games at this point because, bad defense. Minshew's pretty good. I could see Miami winning this, though, just straight up. Couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But if they lost by 10, you're not surprised. It seems like you just got to take Miami and take the points because of the outs it gives you. Miami can win outright. Miami can lose by a field goal. How much would Jacksonville actually win by if they win? It feels like that field goal is in play. Maybe if they're down, Miami's down 10, you could catch the back door.
You think this goes any higher than 3?
You're only worried if like Miami's down 5 late because then they won't kick the field goal or something that can get you your
Maybe
cover.
They will. Maybe that's what we're looking at.
But
with
I
Flores.
think
He's
this
like, we
is
need to cover the
where
spread.
this is where water meets its level for Miami. They got to get off the mat here. Jacksonville's looking pretty fun though, but I think Miami can get off the mat here. I wouldn't mind if I do bet this game, and I probably will, making it like a 70-30 spread money line like bet or splitting it up. Maybe just bet the whole thing money line. I don't know.
So you're betting Miami too?
Yeah.
All right, so Tim, you're the resident the Dolphins suck, but you also think the Jags suck. This must be very conflicting for you.
Well, so
Very
do I.
conflicting. But in the end, I just refuse to lay points with Jacksonville. So I'll take Miami.
All right.
I think this
Miami
comes
won't be
down.
able to like turn the lights off and or whatever they were doing there to prevent the game from happening, to try to throw Buffalo out of its rhythm. Won't be able to do that in Jacksonville. But nevertheless, Jacksonville, to their credit, to the wire with I think an overrated but still a quality Tennessee team, and then trying to figure out what exactly the Colts are. They held them in check pretty well too. So who knows? Maybe they are slightly better. They're the fun version of a bad team that I was kind of hoping the Jets would be, but they're not. They're just they are who they are. They are fun, and my team is
Who are
embarrassing.
you hoping the Jets would be?
With like a fun like Jacksonville, like lots of points. Who knows what's going to happen? QB scrambling around doing stuff. Anyway, Miami's the play I think here. I wouldn't bet it
How
either
can
way,
you
but I'll
say
take
that?
the fish. Because I thought we'd be fun. I thought we'd go up
But
and down the
you
field.
didn't think you'd be bad, and you thought Jacksonville would be horrendous, like a lot of us. Like, you're not alone in that, but to say, like, you thought we would be, like, bad but fun?
Didn't you have them going 14-2? And you picked them to win
You
the
can't,
division?
no. You can't go there. I'm calling you out on that.
Okay. I mean, I had them as the worst divisional winner, and I just thought they'd be in a division with terrible teams. I didn't realize that the Patriots were like a top 3 team in the NFL.
Paul likes to hear this. All right, let's get into Tim's top 3 team in the NFL. Sunday slate: Vegas at New England. Is Vegas good? Was it a bad game for the Saints? I can't quite figure it out.
I was sleeping. I'll own up to
They got
that.
kind of lucky.
It's 5.5.
They caught the Saints in a bad spot.
It's 5.5 for New England. 48's the over/under here. I can't wrap my mind around the Raiders. It's just like, hey, it's first home game in Vegas. Everyone's all
this is a
fired
great
up.
spot.
Like it was just a fantastic spot. Now we have a team from the West coming east for an early game on a short week. Only 5.5.
Okay.
Like 5.5 points doesn't seem like a lot.
Just thinking out loud, of the teams that played on the 4 teams that played Monday last week, did anyone cover? The Giants covered. They were a dog
Yes.
though. Pittsburgh didn't cover. The Chiefs, the Titans didn't cover, and like as Pittsburgh played.
The Broncos.
The Broncos covered. The Broncos covered.
I was just thinking out loud. I like New England here. Short week,
Isn't
cross
the world
country.
going to like New England here, or did like Vegas get some like cred after people watch them on Monday night?
No, because the Saints weren't at 100% capacity, so they don't get quite the cred that you would usually get from a win like that. They're scrappy, but I mean they beat
Do you
the
want
Panthers.
Yeah, I
Close,
don't.
who aren't that great, and the Saints who are banged up. 2 NFC teams to start the year. Next 4 games are Bills, Patriots, Chiefs, Buccaneers. They're probably going to be 2-4. So let's not get too excited about Oakland right now. Or Las Vegas, sorry. Give me the Patriots. The Patriots are darn good. They went toe to toe against Seattle on the road. On the road, one of the longest trips you can make in prime time. A lot of things went against them. They kept fighting back. Got it to the goal line. Called a bad play. Newton should never be running that play. The whole world knows he's going to run, he has no chance of getting the touchdown. That was just bad play calling on the last play. But other than that, I thought they played really well. There was that one bad pass. They kind of got lucky on a pick six, but I thought from what I saw from the Patriots, I'd be pretty afraid if I were an AFC a fan of an AFC team. So yeah, I think the Patriots should win this one pretty easily.
I'm surprised at that because they beat Seattle, who you had as potentially the worst team in the league when we talked last.
Seattle obviously better than I thought they were. I have to say that because they've now acquitted themselves quite well 2 games in a row. I think they'll probably lose this week, but that doesn't mean that they're not a good team.
He's gonna ride against them all season.
I like it.
I gotta say, I very rarely football wise get to say I was right. I was at least part of the population that never for a moment thought New England would be like bad. I was curious how good, like what level of like media, like average to like good they would be, but bad was never questioned. This tank for Lawrence, even with the dropouts on COVID, not for a moment. They don't know that. It doesn't exist like that. I do like them to cover. I will say to Tim's point, I don't know if people are giving Vegas credit. And I say that as someone that actually didn't get to watch the game because he went to sleep and woke up this morning and all the commentary I was taking in was about like Drew Brees being horrible.
Man,
like I woke up and
very
Drew Brees sucks.
Very like Peyton Manning, like final year, like noodle army.
That was a lot of like, I literally heard that commentary from a couple of places. And Michael Thomas running slants was just covering all of that up. And we also were like, why doesn't Michael Thomas like run deeper routes? Why does he just catch 8-yard passes? Well, the captain can't get him there. I don't know. But that was, so I didn't see a lot of like, great win, Raiders, blah, blah, blah. Yay, we think the Raiders are great. I was like, oh my God. Like, is Drew Brees like finished? That was literally the majority of stuff I was seeing. As someone that didn't even take it in, that didn't watch the game, that was looking to take in sort of what happened.
Paul, you wanted to chime in?
I just wanted to ask if Geoff thought that the Patriots were good when Jared Stidham was supposed to be the
I
quarterback.
didn't think tanking being horrible, like it's in my timeline. I didn't
once
care.
Cam came in, I think there's always the.
But
Cam
I never
haters,
thought
but-
that was like the final answer. To me, there was always a shoe to drop there. I thought it would be Dalton for a bit. It ended up being Cam. I never thought they'd be bad.
Cam looks great.
Oh my God.
Like, it's the zip. Like very clearly, he was suffering from
Okay.
not only the foot but that shoulder
Only
issue from
concern
like.
is will he hold up for 16 games getting hit
We've
like
got a
that?
lot to talk about, but I'll just say this quickly right now. I'm going to assume they liked what was available at the draft day for the Chargers at quarterback. But for a moment, if the building, like I get not wanting Cam to compete with like a rookie because Cam's not here to like help a kid. So I get if like they decided we're going top 5 QB, Cam's not a guy that's
Backup QB. You drafted a backup QB. Remember that.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
That's the coach's words, not mine.
We'll get
I'm
there.
going to trust him on a 4th and 1.
We'll get there. We'll get there too. So I get that. So I'm like not stung so much that it wasn't the Chargers. I'll just like but if I was a team, if I just watched Tyrod get his ass kicked last week and then saw that on Sunday night, I'd be like, oh my God. Like, what were we thinking? At least now it's like, well, we wanted a kid, and Cam's probably not going to be there to like help a kid. Like, that's not the role Cam's here for. Cam's like being amazing, and he's going to get an amazing contract. One more of them. He's going to earn it. And that's super cool. Good for him. You like it.
I'm going New England as well. I'm kind of dicey on it, though. The spread, just the 5.5 just seems really...
Fives are always the weird ones.
Yeah, like it's just going to be a pure stay away game for me. Are you taking New England as well?
Yeah.
The coin is taking Vegas. This just feels like a spot to blindly bet Vegas.
Never seems like a spot the Raiders win these. Raiders never win these games, though, right?
Don't they go into
They never win those big road games that no one expects them. Like, people started saying, oh, the Raiders might be okay. It always seems like to me year after year, they go into Pittsburgh, they go into New England, they go into Kansas City. And like, people are starting to hype them. And I'm part of oftentimes part of that hype train. And they just don't show up in these big games. And I kind of feel like that's what this is too. So
I just worry that they don't get pressure on the quarterback whatsoever.
Yeah, although that's probably less important in this game of any other, because the Patriots don't drop back and throw a lot. They do a lot of running from the QB position and a lot of drawing, a lot of read option. I don't know. Probably less important against them than anybody else, but you're right. They do not get much pressure on the quarterback. And one way or another, that is going to end up being a real problem.
Before we get to the next game, I tweeted something this morning just how to cheer my own personal perception, and I was hit back with so much reality. Week 3 NFL is a death trap for bettors.
Oh, yeah. Just wait till
yeah.
everyone loads up against Minnesota this week, and then all of a sudden Minnesota's Minnesota again.
Well, this was the week that Minnesota lost as like 16-point favorites at home.
The first sighting of Josh Allen.
Exactly. I'm seeing since 2010 ATS, like teams that are 0-2 are amazing. They're 50-31 against the spread. Dogs are 38-19. I don't know. For 0-2 teams as dogs. Like, you think you know these teams? You don't know anything yet. Week 2 is like, oh, I've seen them twice. I know what they are. I know what they're about. And it doesn't work like that one bit.
All right, well, we got a few of these teams coming up here. Just a bit later on. Let's go to Chicago and Atlanta. I have Atlanta as my number 1 fantasy defense this week. That's going to turn out well for me. But minus 3.5, the Falcons are favored at home. 48 is the over-under. Just feel like Atlanta knows its defense is bad, which is good in this circumstance because they're just going to face Mitch Trubisky throwing the ball 50 times. But they're not equipped to not take the foot off the pedal ever. Like, we even saw it in the Dallas game. Like, it wasn't enough points. They just have to constantly be going down the field. Like, they're not concerned about little dump-offs to Gurley or trying to milk the clock. Like, no, let's try to go to the end zone as much as possible. That is our only strategy right now.
So in hindsight, that loss is the greatest thing ever for their fantasy owners because they can't stop now, is what you're saying.
I think so, yeah. But they're going to score points. Like, that doesn't seem to be a problem.
I'm going to go to the well with Atlanta here. I mean, desperation, you're hoping kind of breeds brilliance. The world is like making fun of them. How did the coach get on the plane? Fair questions, whatever. Water finds its level a little bit maybe with the Bears in Atlanta.
How do you feel about the Bears' defense? Like, they did a good job against the Giants, but it's the Giants.
Yeah, Giants, a shock of an early Saquon injury.
I'm going to go Atlanta as well. I don't feel great about the 3.5, though. Tim, where are you going?
I'll take the Bears, and not with any significant confidence. It's just, I don't know. I've been backed Atlanta the last 2 weeks, and I would have probably backed him at 3, but at 3 and a hook, no. I'm just not. I think there's a little bit of value on Chicago. Chicago's probably the worst 2-0 team in the NFL. So we'll give them that moniker, I suppose. And the Falcons really should be 1-1. The Falcons, yes, 0-3 is a death sentence, but you look at the Saints and the Buccaneers and the Panthers, and who knows? We all thought the NFC South was going to be the best division in football. We might be wrong. It may not be close to being the best division.
That is not of the people on this show. I believe 2 of us said that the NFC West would be the best division in football. You just didn't believe that any of those teams were any good.
That certainly. Well, I liked the Rams quite a bit, and I liked the Niners. So fair enough. But a lot of people said, "Oh, the NFC South is a pretty darn good division." Well, it looks like it's probably not or perhaps not as good as some of us thought. Anyway, that's a lot of words to say I like Chicago without any real confidence.
San Francisco going back to New Jersey for the second straight week to see if they can resurrect some of their dead players off the field. They're at the Giants. They're 4-point favorites. 41 is the over-under. The over-under in this game feels kind of weird to me. Just like last week, everyone bet the under on that Jets-Niners game. And what happened? There was just the Jets were so bad that it didn't matter what the Niners did. They were able to put up the points. And eventually, that late touchdown by the Jets put the over into play. So I'd be looking at the over-under here. I'm going to take the Niners. That division hasn't lost a game outside of itself yet. The Niners lost to Arizona. That's it. It's the only loss the division has at this point. I don't think it's like that big of a drop-off. If Mullins ends up starting, if Garoppolo ends up starting, I think they'll just roll with Mullins. And I'm not too concerned that they're probably not going to be without Coleman and Mostert. Bosa is a big loss, but against this Giants team, they assigned Devonta Freeman, who's not good. What are they going to do here? The defense is still pretty good, despite the fact that they're missing 3 of their best players. They're missing their entire offense. I still think they're just better than the Giants.
Is this where you think the line settles?
No. I don't know if it's going to go towards San Francisco or against them. I like San Francisco to win this game, but at the same time, are people just going to look at all these injuries and say, well, the Giants aren't good, let's bet them anyway? I don't know. Maybe they'll just take home
travel schedule too. Travel in a regular year, the Niners would not have gone home this week. They would have stayed in the New York area. But of course they couldn't, and so they've had to travel across the country twice in pretty short succession. I'm going to play the Giants. And I don't see the Niners being able to win this game confidently. I mean, when Mullins took over, that team just basically played cruise control. I like Jarrett quite a bit, but the receivers are hurt, quarterback's hurt, the best pass rusher is hurt. The Giants have yet to be blown out in a game. They lost by 10, and then they lost by 4. So they've stuck around against 2 undefeated teams. I don't know. Seems like 4 points as a home dog is a pretty reasonable number. So let's take them.
Kittle may or may not be back.
The Niners are staying east.
No, they got on a plane to go home, and they were delayed 8 hours on the tarmac or something like that.
I heard they were staying at the Greenbrier in Virginia.
Or maybe that's where they were flying.
Well, maybe they are there, but
and they had an MRI truck was supposed to meet him there, and it broke down.
No, I just know they got stuck on a tarmac. I don't know where the hell they were flying. It would make
all
sense
the more
to
reason
say,
to not want to take them.
I just think that they still outclassed the Giants. And
but I think
Mullins
is better than Mullins.
Mullins might be better than Garoppolo. We don't know.
But he's not better than Jones, probably.
He probably is.
Right?
Yeah,
no, I don't think so.
Because you hate Nick Mullins. He's your mortal enemy.
That is not true.
Doug the Pug, Nick Mullins.
I don't know. This seems like to me I wouldn't right now. I don't know what I would have to do to take an under in an NFL game, and this wouldn't be it. But wouldn't be shocked at all if this was like last week's Bears Giants game that was 17-13 in either direction. That just seems like the sort of game we're looking at.
So the coin and Tim are on the Giants. I will take the Niners. Jeff?
Giants.
Wow. If this is the case, I'm going to wait for a better number on San Francisco and bet them.
Yeah, 0-2 at home.
Not good.
49ers just want to get the F out of that state or out of this thing.
They need to. Every other team in their division is 2-0. They can't not win this game. That's not going to be good news for them.
Well, they're in a big problem right now.
Just tread through the game, beat the easy teams, try to manage it going forward. You're down your quarterback, you're down your best defensive player. The offensive line is still intact, though, which is huge because you just might be able to run the ball over the Giants. Even with Jarek or Jeff Wilson or Jarek. No matter who it is. I just think that they just outclass them.
How many carries would Jarek literally could you possibly give him?
15 probably. Yeah. But you give Wilson 10 or 15 and then you're good to go. Or just let Mullins play action. Just go deep. It's the king, Nick Mullins. Next game, another 2-0-2 teams. Cincy at Philly. Philly's favored by 6.
Weird.
I don't think it's weird. 46.5 is the over-under. Tim thought that his week was not going to be Andrew cursed. Although it started off with a curse when he declared the Cleveland spread over and then went to bed on Thursday night, only to see his original pick of Cincinnati come back and cover that game. Philly's defense looks abysmal, but This is the first easy defense they'll have played so far. Like Washington's defense good. Washington's defense is good. At least their front seven's pretty good. And the Rams defense just kind of stymied them. It's not like they weren't able to move the ball. They just couldn't stop anyone. Is that going to be the case with Cincinnati?
I mean, they have the weapons. No doubt about that. The question is, can Philly take advantage of Cincinnati's biggest weaknesses, which is that they can't tackle anybody ever. So, like, if you can just get someone moving forward with the ball on a handoff, you can just get 6 yards at a clip. That's the big question. I mean, Philly's season is sort of on the line here. 3% of teams go 0-3 and make the playoffs. So they and the Vikings, like, their seasons are essentially finished for the playoffs if you don't win this week. Yeah, there's the extra spot, so maybe they have a 5 or 6% chance instead of a 3% chance. But, like, you cannot lose. And if you're Philadelphia, you want to make the playoffs, you cannot lose to the team that had the number 1 pick overall in the draft last year if you want to make a run at the playoffs. This is a must-win game for the Eagles, and I'm going to give it to them, and I'm going to lay the 6 because I think they win by a touchdown or more.
The Eagles have been like bad at starting seasons the last 2 years. They're 1-3 against the spread 2 years ago to start the year. I believe they were 0-4 to start last year against the spread. And although they could lose this game, I don't think that takes them out of it by any means. Like, there's a realistic chance that they could be 1 game out of the division lead even if they lose this game.
I know, but I'm just saying the numbers say if you start 0-3, your season is all but cooked.
But now there's an extra wild card.
Yeah, Tim gives it an extra.
So that's what I mean. So maybe you bump it up to 5 or 6% chance that they make the playoffs. I'm just saying they and the Vikings are the 2 teams I think the most this week. A lot of us thought they'd be playoff caliber teams that, like, everything hangs in the balance this week. So they better win. And I'm going to go with those teams this week.
I think the Vikings are in a much bigger predicament than the Eagles are.
I
at the
agree.
moment. And not based on like play, but if they lose and go to 0-3, like their division is starting to get away from them. There is this, like, at worst case scenario, they're going to be 2, but Philly will be 2 back if they lose. But if Seattle beats Dallas, then you're 1 game back.
Yep.
No big deal. I guess if Washington beats,
I don't really have a strong case, and I do like Philly and was hoping the line would be shorter, but I'm starting to realize Philly could be in for a long season, and sort of like Tim, it's like you just sort of go back to where you were a couple weeks ago, and Philly being 0-3 and losing this game. Like, there's a kitchen sink game for the Eagles against the Bengals with extra time. It's a kitchen sink game.
So you're going with Philly?
Yeah.
Well, it's also a kitchen sink game for the Bengals too. They're 0-2.
Different.
Expectations weren't on them.
Like Burrow throwing for 303 TDs, they can lose a game. I think everything there is fine.
The coin believes in Burrow. The coin is taking Cincinnati +6. The 3 of us are taking Philly. I don't think that, besides the San Francisco game, and we wait till I see the spread if it moves towards the Giants, I think all these games are relatively unbettable. So far. I don't have a good feeling about them either way, but I'm on Philly. Houston and Pittsburgh. Houston, Tim, our pick to win that division. 3.5 point dogs in Pittsburgh. 45 is the over-under. This is another one. Like, this feels like Philly should stomp Houston here. Like Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh should stomp Houston. Like Pittsburgh's. I am just off today. Steelers defense should just be able to be in the backfield the entire time. And almost what happened with Baltimore against Houston, Pittsburgh at home against Houston. Like, if you don't give Watson any time, he's going to shake you off 5 times a game. And on those 5 plays, they basically need to score because nothing else is working for them right now. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh -3.5. Houston looks a bit lost.
But they did start with the Chiefs and Ravens. Like, let's
but I think
be honest here.
That's fair. But like, Pittsburgh is an upper echelon AFC team as well, not on their level, but they're the next tier down.
It's going to be a theme for me today with these 0-2 teams that have a semblance of talent. Houston.
Yeah, Geoff and I are reading from the same hymnal. I have the same approach to this week. Give me Houston. I think that they've got to win this ball game. They could be 3 games back clear of the Titans if things don't go right.
I just don't see how they block for Deshaun Watson in this game. Like, this is the Ravens have a good defense. I think that Pittsburgh's defense is better than Baltimore's. Obviously, just as an overall team.
Yeah, it might be.
Baltimore is better, but the one big, like, I just don't know where the points are going to, like, how many points does Houston score in this game? Like, max 17?
No, they can score more than that. Anytime Watson touches the field, there's a potential for 30 points. It's Watson. He's that good.
Oh, he was your MVP pick. Was Deshaun Watson your MVP pick?
Yes, he was.
Oh, okay. I might have to lock in Pittsburgh now. I totally forgot about that. Does he even make it through this game?
I think he'll be fine. I'm playing the Texans. I can't get off him now.
All right, Pittsburgh for me. Just flying through these games. I don't have a ton to say about them. Rams at Bills. Here we go. Paul.
Go ahead, Paul.
The Bills are minus 2.5 point favorites, 47.5. Tim has both declared that the Bills suck, and there is no way they could ever be favored in this game.
I hope he, as I said last week, I hope he keeps the same energy.
Didn't we make a bet?
I think this is silly. The Rams are such better team than the Bills.
Didn't we make a bet?
No, the Bills are smoke and mirrors. The Rams are the real McCoy. Like,
This is so good.
We bet.
I mean, look, the Bills struggled to get through the Dolphins. The Jets didn't put up much resistance, but the Jets should be relegated to another league. So that's nothing to be said about that. I don't know, man. The Rams are clicking. I know this is a show that has never liked the Rams and still doesn't like the Rams, but I do like them. I believe in Goff. I believe in Woods. I believe in Kupp. I think this team is moving in the right direction. That Aaron Donald continues to wreak havoc. Everybody was against the Rams last week. I loved them. I think this is a really good team. If this game is played the way I think, the Rams should be able to flatten Buffalo, but it's a West Coast team traveling east, a very long trip. Buffalo does have the semblance of a good defense, although they gave up 28 points to the Dolphins. So, I guess we'll have to put a pin in that and see whether the defense is quite what it's cracked up to be. You're giving me less than a field goal, or I have to less than a field goal with a team that I just think is better. And there's no fans. There's no one doing a swan dive through a table set on fire here. It'll be quiet at Orchard Park. So give me the Rams. I like it.
Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo.
Could be my super.
We're teasing the Rams. We're teasing the Rams.
Oh, how many points?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna tease them 6.
Oh, this is
So you're
great.
taking them up to 8.5. Paul, how you feeling?
I love it. For the record, too, we gave up 28 points against Buffalo or against Miami last week, but I think they intentionally sat Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds, who are two of our best linebackers in the middle. Hence why Gesicki had just an absolute monster game. I think they're back this week. As long as they're back, I feel pretty good about this game.
Yeah. No, he's not wrong. Edmonds, I need to see. You want to look at that injury report in Buffalo and get good news, I think, Paul. But this could be my super lock if the injury report is kind. Tim, you were emphatic that if both the Bills and Rams won last week and we're both 2-0, the Rams would still be favored in this game.
I thought they would be. Yes, I was wrong. Again, accountability. I said it. I was wrong. Not the first time I've been wrong. Won't be the last time I'm wrong. I was wrong about it. I think I think the money will go towards the Rams all week. I think this game will probably kick off at Buffalo -1 or a pick. I really do, because at 2.5, it doesn't matter, right? Money can move in either direction until it gets towards a key number. So I don't know. I just think the Rams are the play. I think they're a significantly better football team.
I mean, I kind of discounted the Bills coming into the season. I thought they punched above their weight, but this offense looks amazing. Now, Tim brought it up. Paul brings it up to me all the time. They played the Jets and the Dolphins. And the Dolphins lost Byron Jones 4 minutes into the game. It's a bit trickier when you start thinking of it that way, but
reason to be excited there.
Is Jalen Ramsey going to let Diggs run wild? I don't think so.
I don't know.
He's going to lock Diggs down.
Diggs looks
Diggs is a
awesome.
can't play.
Diggs
play
looks
this week in fantasy.
Oh, can't play Diggs. So
Play. Well, I mean, fantasy, I guess in a league you got to play him, but in DFS you are out of your gourd
Diggs.
to consider putting Diggs on your team. He's going to get locked down. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have a catch.
JB's going to end up getting, that's what's going to end up happening. His Diggs will run out of the slot, and then JB will get shut down.
I worry that the Rams defense forces Allen to do something incredibly stupid because he's prone to do those things. However, only one of these teams has an MVP caliber quarterback at the moment, and that's the Bills.
Goff's taking his team all the way to a Super Bowl. And
why don't you go look up the MVP odds, pal?
Yeah, but he had a much better 2018 season.
Oh, that's great. Is this game taking place in 2018?
Can we power rank the quarterbacks from Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield year? I want to hear from Tim. first.
I guess we got to put Rosen dead last, don't we? Because the guy can't get on the field. I think Baker, and then Sam, and then Allen, and then of course Jackson's won the MVP. So Jackson's a pretty clear gap ahead of all of them.
That's pretty fair.
I think it's a fair list.
How many of those guys will be starting in the NFL in 2 years? Probably 2 of them. Allen being
Probably 2. But as we joked about last week, and again, I saw some things.
Oh yeah, Sam Darnold's gonna be a great backup for Big Ben, and then he'll be the starter.
And then he is gonna be, and he's still gonna. Here's the thing, I know you may.
He's still gonna be 7 years old, so it'll be fine.
Exactly.
And we're gonna get like 2 first rounds for him.
But
No,
one day-
you won't.
One day when
The
he
Vikings got 2 first rounds for Sam, or had to give up 2 first rounders for Sam Bradford from the Eagles. Like, yeah, we're gonna get a first and a third.
No, you're
for
going
him.
to have first
Get the first
overall,
pick.
and you're going to be desperate.
What's going to happen is Trevor Lawrence will be like a generational quarterback, and then the Jets will trade the first pick to someone, and then he'll go to the Hall of Fame. They'll stick with shitty Sam.
No, but we're going to get to the point, Pat, where you actually, it goes full circle.
I'll be on Team Darnold.
No, well, you might be then, because for good reason. I think he'll be.
Can I get credit for being right about how much he sucks?
No,
it's not his
not
fault.
yet.
Oh yeah,
No,
I'm
not
sorry.
yet.
No, not
Not
his
yet.
fault for being shitty.
It's not his fault. He's
There
not
are
playing
plays-
badly.
there are
He's
no-
not fucking Goodwill Hunting. He's just a fucking
has no help.
shitty.
No,
He's a shitty
no help.
NFL quarterback.
There are some plays
He has
on
no help. No one thinks that.
There are some plays on tape that he still does.
Is it the throwing from the back foot or not throwing it more than 3 yards down the field? Yeah, he's
made a
fucking
pass against the
fantastic.
Niners.
He sucks so much. It's incredible.
No,
there
I
are-
don't know what you're looking
No,
at.
there. I can show you a couple plays.
Yeah,
There's
no
Yeah,
one
not
that's
five
right. You know
guys-
what? If you
Literally
watch
nobody.
any quarterback in the NFL, they have a couple good plays,
You
Jeff.
will not find a
You know what the good?
single
You know what the good ones do? Have multiple.
Yeah, you won't find a single expert.
I understand
who
it's
says
about
Sam sucks. You just won't.
consistency. Listen, it's a big year for him, and a
It's
couple
going
good
well.
plays on tape don't do enough. But
No.
my point being is those plays do enough for me to be excited about like him getting behind a good coach and a good backup.
What
Yeah,
was he
and
get? 85 chances? That's what he gets?
No, not 85. I'm
he's
talking about
gonna-
his
he
second
traded for 2
chance.
first-round picks.
No, he's
So-
not.
Tim's trying to get rid of Darnold.
If Bradford went for 2 first-round picks,
Tim, this isn't
Darnold's
2015.
Darnold's going for a
You're
first
gonna
and
be-
second.
Yeah,
or 2
Geoff
firsts.
was good in 2008. Trades were made in 2014. Like, fuck off.
No.
No one wants
there's-
this fucking bum.
You watch. I mean, the
Sam
marketplace will be massive.
Darnold being someone's backup next year for a couple years, then getting his start. You will then be like, I don't know, he's still pretty young, and
When
now
they
he
get
could
him
be
for
ready
the,
to
when,
go.
when he re-signs for the league minimum somewhere, sure, it'd be a nice value to have as a backup.
I
I
think
don't know why we're
there's
talking
still.
about this. This is not even the Jets game.
I think there's still. It's still there. It might not be there in New York, and that might be the coach.
The
but
point is, the king of New York is in this game, Josh Allen. The actual good
yeah,
quarterback. You want to
yeah.
see plays on tape? Watch him.
listen,
He may have made more good plays against Miami last week than Sam Darnold has his entire career.
Well, at least Sam doesn't throw it backwards in a playoff game and lose a 16-0.
I'm sorry. Did you say playoff game?
Yeah. Josh Allen got to a playoff game and threw it away because he couldn't handle the pressure. So
Sounds
maybe
like
he'll
you're
get
pretty
better.
jealous.
Josh
I mean,
Allen
kinda
got
seems-
to a
kinda seems
playoff
like he's-
game in his second year and took a learning experience lump.
doesn't it, Tim?
Well, he's acting like the football's less of a hot potato. I'll give him that.
How many interceptions has he thrown?
He's played Buffalo. He's played the Jets and Miami. Let's
Zero.
let's reconvene after they play a real team this week.
I agree. This is the first actual.
Oh, they're going to
decent
beat
team
the
that they played.
Rams. They're going to beat them by a touchdown.
Beat him by 9, actually.
And if the Rams win, are you guys going to admit the Rams are the best team in the NFC West then?
They're not. Seattle's
of course not.
Seattle's
There's
very
nothing the Rams can
Seattle
do.
is very clearly the best team in the NFC.
When
West.
the
Or
Rams-
Arizona.
Very clearly.
When-
or Arizona.
Cowboys
When-
and
Yeah,
the
they beat 2 teams from the shitty NFC East, which you just said was a bad division.
When the Rams are the best team in the NFC West, I will give them credit for it. Until then, I don't believe I'm still
they
not
could
there.
go 16-0, and I would still be told.
I
they lose
got
to
an
Seattle in the wild card game.
underrated.
They would lose to Seattle. in a
Yeah,
wild
they
card
will. I got an
There you go.
I got a Rams under 8.5. I'm not even worried yet.
If they win this week, you can set it on
Then
fire.
I'll be worried. But I think the Bills might be my super lock. So you think I think they're going to
okay.
lose this week
Fine.
or
Fine.
win this one?
Tennessee and Minnesota.
Oh boy.
Same story. as every
2.5
other
point
game.
dogs at home. 47.5 is the over under. I don't know what to do with this. I'm very curious because this obviously line isn't going to stay at 2.5.
This is the worst matchup for Minnesota right now.
I
But
agree.
the Titans
Because
have been
I
so
watched
lazy.
Jonathan Taylor get 6 at will, and now they're going to go to this guy, and they're going to run him 38 times, and I don't know. Everywhere I am picking this desperate 0-2 team, but every once in a while you got to just call a spade in the NFL, and someone falls off a cliff. And I don't even know if losing to the Packers, Colts, and Titans means that you've fallen off a cliff. That's not an easy schedule, but
it's not
it
like
looks
these games
bad,
are
and I think they're in
close.
trouble.
And when they get behind in these games, there's no urgency whatsoever. They're running the fewest pass and run plays in the league. How is that possible?
I had the Colts as my super lock last week, and I was reassured because someone I really trust told me the Colts were their favorite play, and I said, "What do you like? What's the number?" That person came back at me. You know what? I'll give their name because it's Pizzola, and watch that show because it still has value. He came back at me and said the Colts at any price. At any price, the Colts. Now, like, what does that mean? Obviously, they're not going to move the line to 7. But he's like, whatever they're going to ask for this week on the Colts, you bet it. And that game was over. That game was so lopsided at halftime, I was upset it was only 15-3. Because I was like still worried because it should have been 28-3.
I don't know what to. We'll get to the Colts soon, but I don't know what to make of the Colts whatsoever.
Yeah, we'll get there too. But what I
Are
think
they
the
good because
Vikings.
they beat the Vikings? Like the Vikings just.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I don't. There's still a lot of unknowns. I'm gonna
Titans are a
go
mystery
with.
team too.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I just think the matchup is horrible, and I don't know who Minnesota plays next week, but I don't know. They'll have to get off the mat soon, but I think this is maybe the worst matchup they could have in the league after like the Chiefs or the Ravens.
A physical team. Basically, the Titans are a weird version of the Vikings, but a better version.
Yeah, but the Vikings of like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the team that Minnesota envisions themselves being is probably what the Titans are. Except they would want Cousins. Yeah, I guess Cousins and Tannehill. It's pretty close.
They're like second year Mike Zimmer. That's maybe what these guys are. What was Vrabel's third or second? I don't know. I feel bad for Minnesota because the losses you mentioned earlier is really going to screw them. But I don't even think a desperate Vikings team can match up here.
Over under 25.5 Derrick Henry carries in this game.
Over. Close game,
Yeah,
he
this
gets
game's
it.
gonna be
Blowout,
over in
he
like
gets it.
2.5 hours.
Over.
I kind of want to take Minnesota. And I
Me
don't know
too,
why.
but I didn't.
I am going to take Minnesota. It's more of a play against Tennessee, actually, even though I think Minnesota needs it. Tennessee won against Denver at the gun by 2 points in a game where they were anything but impressive. Then they let Jacksonville
missed
hang
5
30 on them.
kicks.
Then they let Jacksonville hang
Horrible
30 on them
spot
at
game.
home. Okay, sure. Any more excuses you like to make for Tennessee? I'll just wait.
Do I ever
Like-
make excuses for Les Titans?
No, but you were there. Like those are like I'm sorry. The
Because I
Titans
think those
have
are
been.
valid. I've been
They've
in
won-
that horse shit Monday night doubleheader spot. It's not fun. And it's not fun to have to play the next week in the division. We saw
Well,
a
they
couple
played-
bad teams in this league play close division games.
Well, they were
last
unimpressive
weekend.
for 2 weeks. Even though they won games, they were unimpressive. And that's not enough for me to lay points with them on the road.
But they're going to
against,
win
I think,
unimpressive. That's just like
Well,
what they are.
And they can win unimpressive and cover this number is the thing.
Exactly.
It's not like they're being asked to lay like
the
6.
or even last week win more
I
by
get
more
it.
than a touchdown. That came down all week as people started to.
Yeah, I actually still liked. I mean, I took Tennessee and Survivor. I thought they were going to blow out the Jags. I thought they'd run the ball with Henry every
Well,
time. They didn't have to.
They were up pretty big, and the game got close all of a sudden.
It's Jacksonville, man. They just spread them out. Keep on checking with Gardner. So
I'm
you're
going
taking
with the Vikings.
all right. You and the coin going with the Vikings. You and I are very aligned this week, Geoff. It never usually works out well for us. The last of the early games, I couldn't be happier with how this slate is laid out. 5 late games. That is
I
fantastic.
hate it.
No, I don't like
I
it.
love it.
No, I want 2 o'clock jammed and 5 o'clock not jammed.
I like when the slate is so bad at 4 o'clock, the local networks here have no choice but to show a shitty Charger game.
I think they showed them last week because the Chiefs were in that game.
But when there's those 3 game slates, the Bengals Charger game was on TV.
I would just
Regular.
prefer
I mean, I have
more games.
package. I have all the games.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
have all the
saying,
games. You can watch them whenever you want.
But
As can I.
Why
I prefer
is
there be
Jets
5.
Colts on at 5 o'clock? Why is that a late game?
5 o'clock.
All right, 4:00 Eastern. Why in the name of heavens are the Colts a late game?
Because both of the actual New York teams are both playing in the 1 o'clock slate.
That's true.
Oh, okay, you know what? That's fair. Asked and answered.
Washington.
Where's Nance?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Washington at Cleveland. Probably not in Cleveland, I'm guessing. The Browns are favored by 7. 44 is the total. I'm taking Washington. I think this front seven is going to wreak havoc. If they can slow down Chubb. See, that's the only real contingency here. If they can slow down Chubb in this game, I just think it's going to be 17-14, 20-17. Just one of these, like, it's the game that's going to be on the TV that no one's looking at, or if you don't have enough TVs to watch all the games, this is the game that's not going to be on it. But you're just going to see, like, oh, punt. Like, it'll come up at the bottom of the ticker when you're watching the other games. It'll be like, oh, the Browns are on the 50, they've punted. Oh, Washington brought it out to their own 40, they've punted. It's just, it reeks of one of those games. And this front seven's going to get to Baker. They will. It's good in Washington.
Maybe Washington played its best game in week 1 that it can play, and we're going to overestimate them for like 5 weeks because of how great they looked in week 1 against the Eagles.
You know what? Their defense didn't look bad against Arizona last week. It's hard to contain Kyler. Kyler's like a legit MVP candidate.
I get it. But like Cleveland did show, even though the Bengals are not a great defense, they still scored 35. So anyway, I'm going to take the Browns here without any sort of love or passion. And I think Nance will be in Pittsburgh for the Pittsburgh-Houston game, Jeff.
Raiders-Patriots?
Maybe. They just did a Patriots game now. So.
Well, I mean, Rams-Bills
He could be doing he could be doing Tampa-Denver.
That's true.
Rams-Bills is Fox.
He could be doing Tampa-Denver because that looked good a week ago.
So Tim likes Cleveland. That is surprising. Probably trying to Anderker's Cleveland.
I like Cleveland too. I'm a sucker for these guys. Maybe
they couldn't even cover against Cincinnati.
I know, but that's why everyone will hate them.
I don't think people are going to. They wouldn't lay the 7 if they thought people were going to hate them. It's a lot of points for Cleveland.
I hope it comes down. I'm not betting a 7. But
I like Washington in this game.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man, this front seven is. We saw Baker under pressure last year, and their offensive line is already banged up. Now, if they can get the ball to the outside to Beckham and realize his upside and his potential and all the air yards he leaves on the field, then yeah, they're probably going to blow them out. But I just don't know if he's going to have that sort of time. It's just that Washington's going to be in the backfield this entire game. If they can run the ball effectively, it's a different story. I just don't see it happening. Flawed team. They probably win, but don't win by much. They might even lose this game to Washington. Late slate.
Uh-oh.
Jets at Colts. Biggest dogs of the week, the Colts. Favored by 10.5 points. Here's the thing, though. I don't think that the Colts are very good.
I'm sorry. Look who they're playing.
43.5 is the over-under. Kind of want to take the Jets money line.
Go ahead. The Colts are my survivor pick.
Here we go.
I'll just lay that on the table.
Here we go.
The Colts, I'm teasing them down. They're in the parlay. I love this Colt. Not that I love the Colts in general, because I don't. But I love them in this game. The Jets are they have nothing to play with, nothing to play for. You've got Gase saying that Sam doesn't have the freedom to call the QB draw on 4th and 1. That's troubling in 2 aspects. First, Sam is the guy they took 3rd overall and traded a bunch of picks for. He looks at Gase and says, if I want to go on 4th and 1, I'm just going. What are you going to do about it? Bench me? You'll be fired the next day. So I'm very troubled, that Gase thinks he can make that call. I'm also troubled that Sam just shrugs his shoulders and allows Gase to say, you don't have the right to make that call. Like, that just drove me up the wall, that little nonsense. This team didn't compete on Sunday. Again, second straight week. It's one thing if you get beat, but you're trying hard and you'll lose. That's awful, but I live with it because you're trying. The Niners did everything on God's green earth they could do, both with some terrible injuries, which you hate to see, and just not even bothering to chance Jimmy Garoppolo in the second half because, why not just put a backup QB out there? Not even basically run aggressive sets on offense. And the Jets couldn't do anything. It was humiliating. It's one thing to lose close or even get blown out when you're trying hard. It's another when you can tell nobody is trying. It's so demoralizing as a fan. I mean, the first play of the game, they just watch a Mostert roll out. Everyone knew as soon as the Mostert got the ball where he was going with it. No one even tried to tackle him. He just ran all the way. Like, why didn't you just take off your helmets and go home? Like, save everyone the aggravation. No one needs in a era of pandemic. If you're not going to try, why are you out on the field? Like, it's embarrassing. Yeah, this Jets team is terrible. We've got a real shot at 0-16. I don't think it's going to happen, but my oh my, it's on the table. It really, really, really is. Thank God we play the Dolphins twice in a row, because we're going to need that extra game in time to have a single opportunity or chance to win a game this year.
Not so unfair now, is it?
No, quite the opposite. It's our best chance. I'm almost sick to my stomach. I'm so upset with this team because they're not trying, and their quarterback isn't fighting back. He's not. It's again. Yes, he's been dealt 7 deuce, but he's not even trying. He's not even attempting to do anything. He's just allowing Gase to run everything on that offense when it's not working, and he's not fighting back. He's not showing any fire. God, that just makes me so angry. It's the first time I've really started to question what is going on here. I'm just
this is the first
It
time.
wasn't the tears last week?
The tears were just from just a complete total miscalculation and some onion that was nearby. I am very, very, very annoyed at my circumstances and their circumstances. People aren't trying. Good thing that that Mosley did sit out the year. He made the right call. Everyone else is giving up on this team. You might as well protect yourself and your family by not playing. I'm just so angry at what they're doing. And I guess it'll probably be the last time I'm angry, because at this point, what's the difference anymore? It's all over.
Well, let me ask you this: how many Trevor Lawrence YouTube videos have you watched yet?
Honestly, and I said this day, I kind of hope for the kids' sake we don't draft them, because we'll just ruin them, because we ruin everything. We don't. We don't. Honestly, the team doesn't deserve Trevor Lawrence the way they're playing. We deserve nothing. We deserve to be relegated. Bring some NFL Europe team in. Teach us a lesson.
Oh, bring in the Rhine Fire?
Why not? How could they, at least they'd compete. They'd be happy to be in the NFL.
Tim, are you trying to reverse curse the Jets?
Reverse them into what? They got nothing. They
into
got no chance.
Something. Into anything.
What? I want, honestly, give me one win. Just give me that, and I'm fine. Just give me one win, and I will at least have my dignity.
Your defensive
Don't
line's
humiliate.
pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, the run defense is all right. I mean, they couldn't get Mostert on the outside, but after that, they stopped the run pretty
They're
well.
so great.
Phillip
The first
Rivers
drive,
is
they played
garbage,
the game,
man.
an 80-yard touchdown.
Well, just wait for this number to go up, because everyone's betting the Colts this week.
See, I was
Of course
leaning
they are.
Colts, but now I think I gotta bet the Jets.
You brought up the game earlier, that Bills-Vikings game. I think the Vikings were like 16-point favorites or something like that. There's no possible way that the Bills could go into Minnesota and beat them, and they absolutely fucking waxed them. This game just screams of that, because Rivers is going to do something stupid. Like, he's going to give the Jets 10 points in this game somehow. He will.
Okay, then we'll lose 30-10 instead of 30-0.
The Colts are not helping Rivers.
Well, the Colts aren't good. That's why.
Okay.
Their offensive line is banged up. Their quarterback sucks. Malik Hooker's out for the year. The receivers are already banged up. A lot thanks to Tim. But they're not healthy, and they're just not that good.
Rivers puts a ball perfect onto a guy's numbers near the goal line, and he
Rivers
pops
is
it
just so
up.
great.
Rivers throws T.Y. Hilton a perfect bomb to the end zone, and he drops it. No, I didn't say he's great. I'm saying they're not doing him favors.
Who's more washed, Phil or Breeze?
Breeze?
That's Phil.
You see Phil throw the ball downfield?
Well, Phil, hey, he's been noodle arming it for fucking 6 years.
So he could throw the ball downfield. They don't even try to throw the ball downfield.
He looks like he throws left-handed.
They don't even try to throw the ball downfield.
Don't need to, usually. They need Michael Thomas back.
I feel bad for Becton, because he actually has looked.
He's
really
amazing.
good.
He is. Listen,
He might be the rookie of the.
Tim is gonna-
He's going to be the
year.
rookie of the year.
Because there's no, he can't win it.
No, he can't, but he might be the best
probably
rookie.
is the best
He might
rookie of
be.
the year, even though he can't win it.
And this is only going to make Tim's claim of that 11th overall. And next year we'll ask him if he's going to trade number 2 that the Jets own and 30 from Seattle for 11.
He should. Second best pick of the draft. Better than number 2.
Hoping the Chargers land on 11, eh? So Tim will talk me up all
No, then it will change.
I'm sort of committed. I'm sort of committed to this line now, so I sort of am going to have
what
to say
line?
that the 11th pick is the second best pick.
Oh, are you saying that you're being disingenuous?
Well,
No,
like,
but I'm this
yeah,
line of argument.
you could add
I'm
the
committed
greatest
to it.
left tackle ever to being drafted
might-
11th overall.
He's going to be a star. It's that like the people who know NFL offensive lines are saying this guy looks like the real deal. That's 2 games, so let's not get too excited. But the rookies so far have been relatively unimpressive.
it's
And Becton has been impressive. He can never win.
There
as an offensive lineman. but he is the best rookie so far.
There are snaps on tape, Pat.
Oh, just like the Sam Darnold plays on tape.
No, like all game of this guy just manhandling. It was
Backups for San Francisco. Great.
No, it was 50. Whatever Bosa was in there for. The Bills were no chump. Everyone got to Darnold except whoever was this guy's responsible for. He's a player. He is a player.
I mean, it was just said seconds ago. I didn't want it to go without being repeated that he was the best looking rookie. Like Joe Burrow's looked pretty good in his first two starts.
Yeah, but Tim only watches Jets games.
No, he's looked perfectly fine.
And he doesn't even watch Jets games. He just watches highlights on YouTube.
Honestly, man.
I didn't watch a lot.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Jets
Oh,
games in the
so
second half,
Burrow's
though.
not good because Herbert's so great?
Listen.
The backup?
Listen.
Justin Ebert?
Herbo.
I don't know. I didn't see.
Your coach doesn't think he's good enough to start.
Listen, don't worry about that.
Who are you taking, the Colts or the Jets?
I'm taking the Jets now, but I definitely came in here with the Colts on my sheet, thinking that this Jets situation is like worse than Minnesota's.
It would be
Indy
upset.
Indy shouldn't have a problem beating them, but Tim set it up, baby. Like it's Jets. I'm gonna put the Jets on bets now, probably.
It would be the biggest Jets upset since they beat the Colts in the Super Bowl.
And there's no way this thing drops below 10,
No,
so I don't care.
Not a chance.
Like maybe it goes
No.
to 10, but if I lose a 10.5, but I'll take my chance. This thing can climb and flirt.
Oh, yeah, this could get up to like 13.
I was going to say
The Jets might be
that.
on
This
my
game could get to 30.
teaser, Pat. Jets might be on my teaser.
Oh, Fienberg teaser?
No, I don't want to make one. I don't make teasers.
So, yeah, they're terrible.
That's why they're
You do
called.
on occasion. You do a couple
On
of times a
occasion,
year.
you're right, but they're called teasers for a
Especially
reason.
after they all basically hit on either side last week. Just prepare for carnage. That's why I'm really staying away from the betting board this week.
Oh, carnage. Carnage.
Tampa at Denver. Denver appears to be starting my guy, Driscoll, but they did just sign Blake Bortles, so who knows? 6 is the number. Denver are 6-point dogs. 43 is the over-under in this game. I think I'm just going to blindly take the Broncos plus 6. Tampa probably wins by 3 or something like that, or they get backdoored somewhere along the way, almost like Denver did to Pittsburgh last week, where they had no chance to ever win the game, yet they covered. I mean, they had a chance to win on the final drive, but it never felt like they were ever going to come back and win. Poor Cortland Sutton. Tim, he was your guy.
Yeah, I like Sutton a lot. Judy's banged up. But I'll say this about Driscoll. I think he's a pretty decent little player, and I expect him to actually perform in this game.
Leave Denver alone.
Yeah, leave Denver alone, Tim. The Broncos fans just want you to fuck off.
Well, I don't really care what they want. I'm going to be at perfect freedom to speak my opinion the way I see it.
Unlike
And
Sam
the way I
Darnold.
see it. Yeah, well, again, let's not rehash that. I think, yeah, I'm with you. I think this Denver game sets up a lot like the Pittsburgh one. Buccaneers going into altitude. Yeah, the Bucs took care of business, but they lost. They didn't crush the Panthers the way I was kind of hoping they would. Only won by 2 touchdowns. That's good. That's great. They cover the number. You sort of get off the mat after the loss against the Saints, but I was kind of hoping for a little more. And Brady had a couple of passes that connected, but wasn't. I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I like the Broncos to cover the number. Maybe Tampa gets out of here with a last-minute field goal or something.
Yeah, the Bucs looked all right. Like Scotty Miller dropping touchdowns isn't helping Brady's cause much. Like that's on the receiver. That's not on Tom. Godwin's going to be back this week. And I mean, if you're going to run Melvin Gordon 30 times, if there's a team to not do that against, it's this team. But at the same time, like besides that Fournette touchdown towards the end of the game, like the long one, Carolina was still like just lurking around and lurking around. Like Carolina's not very good. They're going to score points almost every single. But it was like that Oakland game with Carolina. They just kind of lurked around. Watch out for Carolina this week against the Chargers, by the way, because they'll lurk. Not afraid to lurk. The
Denver,
Panthers. But then they just fucking blow it at the end.
Denver's 0-2 at home. Hope it's a long physical game because Chargers play the supermodel next week. So,
I worry that Tim's on Denver again, though.
I'm
He's just
on
killing Denver like week after week after week.
I don't like it,
And
though.
I think there's value on Driscoll and DK too. I really do. Tampa's defense is not that great.
You
I don't know
like
why there's
that?
silence all of a
What,
sudden.
Driscoll? No,
Yeah.
Jeff's just staring at me really weirdly.
I don't know. I'm
Just
trying to
with his
think of like
eyebrows up.
how cheap Driscoll would have to be for me to like want to even think about rostering. him.
How about this? Just play Kyler Murray every week.
Yeah,
Just
Josh
do
Allen.
that. Yeah, and Josh Allen. Like, play the good quarterbacks. Who
I
are
don't know
like,
what to do without McCaffrey. I'm lost.
That's true. I mean, you have to really amend your strategy here. So you're taking Denver. Are you taking Denver too in +6?
Yeah.
Even the coins on Denver. It's just a rounded Denver. That kind of worries me.
But I'm excited to see how Melvin does against a stacked box for the next month.
I mean, he had a stacked box against Pittsburgh and luck sacked his way into a touchdown at the end of the game. Well, he was not having a good game. Then all of a sudden he's in the end zone.
Well, he's happy. The team lost, but I promise you he's happy.
Let's take a brief intermission so we can do a mini Cust Corner.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner,
Not what people are calling it.
So, Tim, I have a topic for you.
Okay.
I had an incident this week.
Oh, with Tim?
No.
Oh, well, let's start with yours. Yours sounds fun.
No, I don't know if it's fun.
Well, let's hear about it. You can talk to us.
So I was just out and about without my mask.
Okay.
And I understand that. Listen, no game, no mask, no game, no mas, whatever. But I just how do I put this? I literally just I went to the Harveys and I opened the door and they got like
The
two
2
for
for 6 deal?
hamburgers.
Yes,
And I'm
yes,
like-
I saw that. I wrote that down in my journal
Hold
last
on.
night saying, I have got to go to Harvey's
And
this
I'm a
week.
plain
It's
guy,
2 for
Pat.
6 week.
I'm a plain guy, like just a little ketchup. I don't even want you to actually put anything on it. I even said nothing. Oh,
So you
sorry.
weren't wearing your mask in the restaurant?
No,
You're
I didn't
shocked
go
that-
in. No, sorry.
You
Now I'm
passed
just
up on the long
shit.
pickles?
I
They
gotta
got the
go
long
back.
pickles.
I gotta go rewind. They wouldn't help me, but I literally opened the door, and it would have been like $8.80, and I said like $10. Like just put ketchup in the bag, 2 cheeseburgers. Like come bring it to me. Here's the $10. The guy wouldn't do it. The guy wouldn't
shitty.
do it. And
That's
I called him an asshole.
They should also
Yeah,
have,
that's also pretty shitty.
No, like what the hell, man?
they should have disposable
So should I have
masks
like gone
available
in
for
and
customers.
just like
No,
done
no,
that?
you don't want to be the shirt over the face guy.
Like,
No.
is that what you wanted me to do?
Well, the Starbucks next to the office here, they have masks there if you forget
Smart.
yours. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
that's what you should have. That's
Harvey's
what you
not
should have.
super sharp, man. That's why there's not many of them
They
Keep
have
the
around.
those
change.
long pickles.
I literally
What if-
like make it easy. I could loiter outside. I don't want anything on the burger. I'm just a ketchup guy, but I'll just usually say plain and put ketchup in the bag because I don't get other condiments. They think just because I have ketchup. No, I just want a normal amount of ketchup.
They
It's
make
just
it-
the
they make
only
5
condiment I
million-
want.
They make their burgers 5 million ways.
I don't
Jeff,
give a
with the
shit,
all-plain
Pat.
route.
I don't give a shit.
I will say that if I am the owner of Harvey's, I am instructing my employees to not do what you wanted them to do because then you're just going to have assholes lining up trying to do this the entire day.
What do you mean, assholes? There's no
should
one
be
around.
offering masks
This
to
is
their
like when
customers.
I
I
agree
when
that- I
I was
agree
like
that-
12 years old and asked Dominic Hasek for his autograph, and he said no, and I called him a prick.
I can understand why.
There's no one around. I get if there's like other people. There's no one in the restaurant. There's no one like waiting to come into the restaurant. Cheeseburgers, plain, $10, no change. Asshole.
Hopefully, he doesn't watch the show.
Don't
I can
give a
understand.
shit.
I can understand not.
I'll go
doing
back to that location and
He doesn't
I'll rip
watch the
that
show
guy
because
with
if he
the other
watched the
staff.
show, he would know that Jeff was going to ream him out for this. So he definitely doesn't watch the show.
When I said I got an incident this week, I wasn't expecting to get this worked up about it.
I'm shocked you're that worked up because Harvey sucks. So there's
No,
that.
their 2 for 6 is worth the money. Those are
No,
they
it
flame
does
broil
suck.
those
It does
burgers
suck,
made to
but it
order.
was cheap, convenient. It's just what I wanted.
Well, it wasn't so convenient, was
And
it?
they got this generic, listen, it's not great, but it's got this generic taste that sometimes I
Yes.
just crave. I'm not like Tim, where it might be the best thing like in town. I could go to other places, get a premium burger. Premium.
Not what you wanted.
But sometimes I just want like I know what it tastes like, and that's what I wanted.
I like
so
Harvey's.
generic.
They're not the best.
Not the
For
best.
American viewers, they're a Canadian fast food chain that gives hamburgers. They have, and they also have like special condiments that you can get, like the hot peppers and the big Harv sauce and the long pickles.
It's just
which
a
I am
burger.
a
It's
big
just-
fan
yeah.
of.
Anyway,
I agree with you that they should have, if they're going to require you to have masks to come into the store, that they should have, just for their own business, they should provide the mask at the beginning. But then, like, I saw people stealing the mask from the Starbucks, and like the Starbucks guy was like, "You can't take all the fucking masks."
because they're like,
asshole."
"Now I can have a few extra."
It's like
right?
walking into
Keep 'em in my
Costco. If you
car.
walk into Costco, they hand you a mask if you haven't got one.
What if you?
Okay,
what
here's a
if the
problem.
person-
I go to
you
this
have Paul
Harvey's
talk?
though.
What if the person handing out the masks infects the masks?
What do you mean?
Maybe that's why. If
just
like
have a box
if
of
somebody
masks on a table.
somebody who's like giving out the masks has COVID, then everybody is just putting this thing on their face.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not walking if I don't have the mask and there's like a bin of masks there. I'm not taking a fucking mask out of the bin and putting it on my face. I'm not doing that. I'm just not going in.
Some of them have like plastic, like they're in like.
Yeah, if they're in their own individual casing, I will take one and open it and put it on. But
I agree.
if it's like
You
a
know what?
stack of masks,
That's a great point because this Harvey's is owned by.
You gonna name check the guy?
No, it's like Cara Foods. They own tons of restaurants in Canada, like Swiss Chalet and Cal. This is a huge corporation. They should have masks.
I agree.
This isn't like a one-off dude. It's nothing special, the place. But this is like a convenient location for me, Pat.
Maybe if you talked nicer to him and didn't call him an asshole.
That's
no,
true.
I
No,
was
it's not like you don't know
maybe
him, Jeff.
maybe you
It
could have
no, I
got a
didn't go
mask out
straight
of
to
the
assholes. Like,
situation.
dude,
you
can't-
gotta.
You don't even have to give me change. I don't want anything on the burger.
So now, where did you go afterwards, Jeff?
I just went home.
Cried
Hungry.
about it.
I don't even
Really? See,
remember.
that's more discipline than I would
Maybe
have.
I did. I
have
don't
been-
know.
I would have gone to Burger King then or something at that point.
Yeah,
There's an
to
A.
show
There's an A
Harvey's.
and W.
then-
Honestly, it's a block. There's a Duke's and an A and W. I could have gone anywhere. I don't know. I was really thrown for a loop, and I like that location. And then me and there's a guy there that I pretend to like the Raptors and talk with him about them sometimes.
God. I took an Uber today, and I must say, pandemic Ubers, top notch. You're wearing a mask. If they're wearing a mask, they don't say a word to you. It's fucking fantastic. I can get my work done in the back. It's terrific times.
So now, trust me, this guy's prickly to begin with.
Sounds like you're kind of prickly to begin with.
So
No.
are you done with this location, Jeff? Or are you going to have to like scope it out? And if he's not there, you can go in. But if he is there, can you show your face again after calling him that?
I'll really
resolution
need.
here?
Well, you won't be able to recognize him because if Jeff goes in, he'll have a mask on.
Oh, dude, a guy literally, I was wearing a mask and my shades and like a hooded sweatshirt. And he goes, I don't want to walk by you in an alley. Like, look at me. Who am I? I don't know. Listen, when you got a craving, you got a craving. That's a question I can only answer when I have like the craving for that generic Canadian taste.
Harvey's Burger.
Are they not on like Uber Eats or DoorDash or anything? Skip the dishes?
Yeah, I'm not.
Can't get 2 for $6.
Hey, I mean,
Off
if they
of
have
there,
the deal at the
bud.
store, then you can get it there. It wouldn't be for $6 because you'd have to pay a delivery fee. But
Exactly. 2 for $6 is a great deal.
It is a
really
good
is.
deal.
I saw that on TV during Monday night last night, and I was like, "Oh God, that has got to be on my list of." I like to like make notes in my.
It's
visual
actually
places
on
I'd
for.
like
It's
to
actually.
visit. No, you know what? Never mind. People don't need to know that.
It's
no,
on
can
for
you,
3
can you let
weeks.
Tim? Can you let Tim talk? Do you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he said?
Your fast food list of places
Tim
to
saw
visit.
a commercial on TV for Shitty Harvey's that they had a 2 for $6 burger deal, and he wrote it down in his fucking journal. What else are you writing down?
I often will write down things on advertisements that I see of items I might like to purchase.
Can you
Remind myself.
Can you give us some insight to what's made that list so far?
Well, Eastside Mario's has a buy one get one free pasta meal. I'll put that
Not a
in
good
there.
deal.
DQ has this new Blizzard that I'm desperately interested in trying. Even
You're
though
not.
I know
You're
I
not
can't.
allowed to have.
I know I
Blizzards.
can't, but they have this caramel apple pie Blizzard. I wonder what that would taste like. So I know I can't, but I wrote it down anyway.
You with Blizzards are just like, it's like bubbles on the wire. Like when he's walking around and all of a sudden they're giving out 2 vials for the price of one.
Was
Can't
it-
help himself.
When did Tim tell us? Did he get like a coffee from Dairy Queen just to look at the menu?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I went through the drive-through just so I could look at the menu. Well, this happened not that long ago. Anyway, doesn't matter what I'm up to. Anyway, so when I see things on TV, it's not just food. I'll see like clothing on sale I might like to purchase, or just various advertising, or like a vacation, stay and play golf somewhere. I go,
Okay.
that's interesting. I'll write it down.
2 things. All right. So I want to go back to those 2 things just for a second. One, what was the latest entry you have for deals on clothing, and where was that from?
There was something at Old Navy that I thought was pretty sharp looking.
What was it?
It doesn't matter what it was. I thought it was cool looking.
And what
A pair of shoes that were gray and sort of suede like. I thought they would be neat.
Sweet like. Also, the golf vacations. Which golf vacations have you found?
There are some nice golf courses on this part of the country, places like Capit Cliffs and stuff like that have offered deals or whatever. You go, oh, that's interesting. And I sort of write them down. Either it's on TV or I see them online or whatever. I'll just write. If I remember them, I write them in my books just so that I have you can't remember all the advertisements that you see. So,
Well, why don't you just tell Siri, your best friend, and then she'll write it down for you.
no. Anyway, but food is the thing that I probably write down. Just you see deals, right? Oh, that's a hot deal. I better take advantage of that while it's out.
Hot deals.
Like,
But
you
here-
remember
but-
a couple of years ago when 7-Eleven had those like pops on for like $2? Like
Nope.
you get like 3.
Can
Geoff will.
assure you I don't.
Jeff will. And like I wrote this down because I was living near a 7-Eleven at the time. Thinking, I can go get a bunch of Diet Cokes for cheap here. And like I did. Like, so I remember these are I cashed
It's
in
not
on
a good deal because they made fun of this commercial once, and Tim said, "Oh, I do that." But I'm like, why does
Couldn't you just go to the grocery store? or
yeah,
the
that's when
supermarket
buy
and
like
buy
a
it for even
case of
cheaper?
24 for like double what he pays for.
Sometimes.
He pays for like 8 colas, which you'd get like 24 for.
depends on the time of like
You got
there
me,
are times
like,
you can get the
watering.
1 liters for like 69 cents.
So I don't understand why you're looking for deals, because this brings me to the point that I wanted to come to, is that you told us that you don't think that $500,000 a year as a salary is a lot of money.
So let's just that's a partial truth. What I said
But
was
you're looking for $6
What I
for 2
said
burgers
was-
and writing it down.
What I said was $500,000 a year isn't much of a salary for a social media influencer.
Okay, Jeff, did you hear what he just said? $500,000 a year isn't a lot of money for a social media influencer.
No, how much do you think Kylie Jenner rakes in? Do you think she's raking in $500,000 a year? I don't think so.
She's so beyond an influence.
This is like Tim saying that the average actor salary is $25 million a year because
I
The
don't think
Rock,
that's
The
true.
Rock makes $25 million a year. You took
No, I don't
basically
think
the
that's
biggest
true.
celebrity in the world and said, yeah, she probably doesn't make $500,000 a year. You know what, Tim? You are correct. To think
For
that
someone who's influencing products of major companies, I'm sorry. I don't think that someone
yeah, but she had she had a reality show before that.
But
like she was.
Don't worry about Kylie Jenner. Worry about that he thinks that the average influencer on Instagram makes $500,000 a year. That is so ludicrous.
If that's your job is to influence product, you better be making more than $500,000. As I said in our thread, who are you influencing with $500,000? The guy at the Lexus dealership when you buy your base model? Like, who are you impressing? Who are you influencing with $500,000 a year?
Sorry, Tim Too Rich.
Why don't you go make that Instagram money if it's so easy?
Yeah, if it's so easy
I don't
to make
think it is easy.
Okay.
I think it's hard, but like to be an influencer, to be worth the name, you probably should be earning over $600,000 a year to be an influencer, right? I mean, how are you influencing anything if you're only making $350,000 a year? Like, I just doesn't. It seems to me like that's just not enough.
Some of these influencers,
And this is not a
literally,
too
like,
rich take
live
at all.
for-
This is a
they
really
just-
This is either I'm a complete fucking moron take
Yeah.
or Tim Too Rich
No,
take.
I agree
Take
with
your
Pat.
pick.
Tim,
The average like Instagram influencer probably makes like $20K a year.
and they
How
get
can a
like,
person
and they get like
Because
40K
it's not their,
in like
full
free
time
shit.
job, Tim.
They get like free shit
Yeah.
more so than like actual money. They're gonna like stay at a hotel and say, "Oh, it's great here."
Yeah, get a free trip out of it.
But
Or
they
you probably
don't-
have to pay for your trip. You get the free stay.
Yeah, but they don't
like if
get.
you were a full-time person on the Cameo, you don't think you could make if
What
you
is
were
that?
popular like $1 million a year?
Yeah,
You can.
you can if you're. I don't know. I don't even know who to make $1 million a year on. I'm on Cameo.
not
you
a
can
million.
book Pat Mayo on Cameo right now. Cameo.com/thepme. I do well on Cameo. I'm not gonna make a career out of it.
Not 1 million, but like there's one of like Howard Stern's like.
So what you're saying is that at the very high end, the 1% of people on Cameo could make $1 million a year. Do you think that most people on Cameo can do it as a full-time job? No. Like, what world do you live in?
No. I don't want to be accused of being some patrician here who thinks like that. I don't want to be Lucille Bluth, who doesn't know what a banana.
That is
Like,
what
I'm
you are right now. Apparently,
No, but I'm just saying-
we asked him
It's a
this
great analogy.
through a text thread. That I asked him, I was like, what percent? Because he thought that we went and looked at the demographics of what people make. Because he was saying the $500,000, not a lot of money.
For an influencer.
It's so much money for an influencer.
It's a ton of money for a regular salary. In fact, it's a lot more than a ton. It's a lot.
Why do you think that influencers make all this money? Like, I just don't, I don't get that correlation.
Like you go on, I watch eTalk Daily or Entertainment Tonight, and I see these people come on, hawking product or whatever.
Yeah, do you know why
they're celebrities?
No,
not
he's not even talking
influencers.
about celebrities. He's talking about like if they're talking about like a certain, I don't know, some shit product on the internet, like some piece of makeup, they'll have an influencer to come on and talk about it. Tim thinks that these influencers get paid to go on like Entertainment Tonight to talk about this stuff. No, they're there to try to sell the product.
I think they got to be making bank.
They're not, Tim. Some are. Very few are. Most, absolutely not.
Anyway, that was my point. $500,000 is a huge amount of money.
If someone
But
would
it's
like to
not
pay
that much
Pat
for-
Mayo $500,000 a year to influence something, I will gladly take that. Gladly.
So,
most
I-
people get paid influence-wise, either in product or if people sign up through their link, they get like 7% of each sale.
Tim, you should get on Cameo because I'm sure people would just hire you to like curse their their league mates' teams and stuff like that.
That's true. There's a very viable market for
There's a market there for you.
anti-influence business where brands should hire Tim to advertise their rivals.
That's amazing.
Like, how much do you think Rick Moranis got there last week to advertise that new cell phone company? I bet you got a huge amount of money.
Why do you think that every person in the world is a celebrity?
Well, I don't think everyone is a celebrity, but it seems to me if you're an influencer, you've got to have some celebrity status to begin with in order to influence the popular culture towards a product.
That's
Like,
not
you've
true.
gotta
though.
be a
Like,
celebrity.
No, you don't, because technically my job is an influencer. I get paid to be an influencer,
But you do so much more than being an influencer.
Sure,
You're not just going
I
on
actually
Instagram.
I actually have to create content around it too. But that's technically my job.
You're not just going on the Instagram and saying, "Oh, I love Lay's potato chips," and getting a big sack of money for it, the way that a lot of these influencers are.
That's not what happens. Oh my god. You really have strong opinions about things you know nothing about. It
Well,
really,
it just seems to me that
it really puts into question anything you talk about.
Well, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just saying this is just coming straight out of the id. These are the things that I'm thinking.
It's so crazy. It came down to the Doug the Pug makes approximately $500,000 a year, which I'm pretty sure he makes way more than that. But at the same time, a lot of money for a dog
Yeah.
and an Instagram account. And he has Doug the Pug has
Bet you the dog who played the littlest hobo made more money than that.
I bet you he didn't.
know
I
what's
bet you he was
crazy,
just
Pat?
shot out back. But at the same time, like Doug on Instagram, I think has like 4 million Instagram followers.
All bots.
Not all bots. We did a Twitter audit. Tim is just making stuff up again. But at the same time, like to get $500,000 a year, and there's like major brands like Mercedes. He's in movies. He's making draft picks in the NFL, and that's 4 million. That's a lot of Instagram followers for a like actor. Most influencers aren't actors or anything. They're like bloggers in a very specific niche for like yarn.
Maybe I don't know what an influencer is then. That may be the problem. To me, an influencer is like a celebrity who basically endorses products.
So you think,
that's not
so
what
you
an
think being an
influencer is.
influencer is a celebrity,
A
like
spokesperson.
a movie actor.
Like Alec Baldwin doing a credit card commercial.
Yeah, that to me is like influencing the public to like get a master.
That's being in a fucking commercial.
Well, that's why I'm saying I may just be off the mark about what an influencer is. But
You're an idiot.
Dennis Haysbert isn't an influencer.
He's an all-state influencer. Oh my god. Imagine living the world through Tim's eyes. And thinking what he thinks and living his truth. What would that be like?
I get my burgers.
I'd love to have the confidence thinking I could get 10 yards on 3 carries.
The confidence in things you know nothing about but are very concrete in what you think.
Well, if life has taught me anything, is that if you can fake sincerity, you've got it made. Somebody said that once. I think that's right.
Is that why you make $500,000 a year?
I wish I made that kind of money. I mean, I still couldn't buy many of the things I want, but it still would be nice.
We need a list of things that
What
Tim
can you-
wants.
I can't buy my Gulfstream with $500,000 a year.
You don't even like going anywhere.
No, but I like the idea if I had a Gulfstream.
My Gulfstream.
You hate travel, but you want a private jet.
But it would be
not
nice
just
to have
a private jet.
A Gulfstream.
Like as if it was like a Honda jet.
That would be too day
Yeah.
class A for him.
Well, if you're going to buy a Jad.
But anyway, we were talking about privileged Tim. So we asked him, like, how many people, like percentage of people you know, do you think make over $100,000 a year? This is how the conversation ended up going into it. And he was like, I don't know, like 80%.
I don't know. I don't ask people what they make. It's none of my business.
Well, you apparently you have a good estimation of what things are worth.
I'm just guessing. I don't know. I don't think. I also didn't say 80%. I just said I don't know what people make. I don't ask what people make. It doesn't matter to me. There's a lot more to life than money.
Apparently, when $500,000 isn't a lot of money, of course it is.
Well, but it'd be
people
hard
are just
for me to get,
you and your friends are going around having money fights with people.
No,
with each
but
other.
like to have the villa that I'd like to have, and like the hobby farm, and a Gulf Stream, and you know what? This makes me sound like Chester J. Lampick, so I'm going to stop.
Sorry, once Tim like invents an app and sells it for like 40 million.
I like that he knows what Instagram influencers make, but doesn't have Instagram or has ever been on Instagram.
No, I mean I work 24 hours a day trying to craft my Twitter art. I haven't got time for other apps.
Trying to what?
Craft the art of being good at Twitter.
It's been 10 years. I think you might want to take up a new hobby.
No, that is my hobby. Twitter has become my hobby.
Maybe you need a better hobby, like learning things before just opening your mouth and just saying utter nonsense.
I learn a lot, know a lot.
Do you? Or do you think you know a lot?
I know quite a bit. I've read a lot.
Maybe you should read some more. Detroit at Arizona. Tim, you have a giant bet with me that Detroit would have more wins than Arizona this year.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, put the Cardinals on the teaser.
So he's trying to curse the Cardinals.
Just
Here we go.
I and honestly, I'm not, but I just don't think the Cardinals are going to lose this game. The spread scares me a little tiny bit, but not enough to be that. The last time these two teams hooked up was week 1 of last year. It was a push. They tied. I think they're more evenly matched than some people think, but the Cardinals are decisively better. And I'm going to take the Cardinals, tease them right down to a pick 'em so that all I need is the win.
Well, they're actually minus 5.5, so you're actually teasing them through zero.
Well,
again.
earlier they weren't. Earlier they were 6. So if the number's moving that way, so be it. But anyway, taking the Cards. I like the Cards. I'm going to pick the Cards to cover, but I'm not super confident in it. But I am far more confident they're not going to lose this football game at all.
The Cardinals are favored by 5.5 here. 54.5 is the over-under. It is the second highest point total of the week. I don't know what to make of Detroit. It's like something broke in their brains after like the first quarter in each of these games. They got up on the Bears, blew it. They got up by double digits on the Packers last week, if people forget, and ended up losing by a lot of points. I don't know how they stopped Kyler. I really don't. But this confidence coming from him on Arizona is just crazy. I don't like it. I don't like he's trying to curse our bet.
I don't believe in curses.
Yeah, we know.
Or am I trying to influence it? Sorry.
Well, should I pay you $500K or would that be on the low end?
I hate this pick, but I think I'm going to lean Detroit. But if you like Detroit, you got to wait this out.
It's already gone down, though. It was 6. It is 5.5 now.
Huh.
Yeah, but you kind of think, at least I do, like Geoff, that the money is going to come in on the Cardinals as we get closer to kickoff.
That's no guarantee that the money goes. But I mean,
there isn't.
When you say that and then you say the money is going to come in on the Cardinals, what specifically are you talking about with money coming in on the Cardinals? Because realistically, the
big money.
Oh, you think that like there's just everyone like you'll look at that like fake thing where it says like 90% of bets are on.
No. Just a couple of people like big bettors at the books respect. I could see them coming in. If I'd be curious to see what the advanced line should be on this game. Feel like the advanced line would be closer to 7.
Well, it opened at 6. Now it's down to 5.5.
Yeah.
If you believe in anything, someone came in and hammered the Lions
Clearly.
plus 6.
Clearly that happened, but I just feel like, I don't know, without any evidence, I just sense that this should be closer to a 7-point game than a 5-point game. And that's where I think it'll shake out, come what may.
How many points what was the final score of the Cardinals in football's game last week?
That's a good question. Let me look that up.
Because they beat San Francisco in week 1, but it wasn't by like all the points in the world. It didn't feel
30
like
to 15.
30 to 15. They had that late touchdown. Feel like Detroit's going to be able to score, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals had trouble scoring against the Niners, but the Niners have had a great defense in week 1. and they were able to sort of bottle Arizona up. I don't think the Lions can do such a thing.
I'm going to take Detroit. Plus 5.5. Next game. Oh, your team. This is fun. Panthers at the Chargers. Chargers, minus 6.5 point favorites. 44 is the over-under. It's looking like it's going to be Herbert again this week. Apparently, Tyrod had a collapsed lung. That's why he couldn't play, because they fucked up the injection for something in his chest before the game.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought it was all fake news when I heard about it. Now I feel bad that I had joked about it, that he actually did have a collapsed lung. But it wasn't. It was able to heal itself, so he didn't have to get admitted to the hospital. It's just really weird.
I thought he was in the hospital.
They brought him to the hospital. Apparently, he didn't have to get admitted because, I don't know. I was reading two conflicting things on it. I thought it was weird at the time that they just said chest, and that was it. Like, it sounded like a fake injury, so they could start Herbert. But clearly, they don't want to start Herbert. So Herbert's in, like, go mode here to have another good game. It was shocking they didn't go for that 4th down in overtime, though. What are you doing against the Chiefs?
Yes.
Like, it's a terrible idea. Anthony Lynn's a bad coach.
He's not as bad as you make him out to be.
What does he do that is good?
His whole body of work deserves
Like what?
a lot of benefit.
Like,
of
like
the
being
doubt.
great last year?
No. Will you let me speak then?
No, I mean, will you actually tell me something besides,
Yeah.
no, he's great? Check the tape?
No.
What specifically? Tell me about it.
This is 4th year in the league.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, for starters, I will say he's exponentially. This is like a fat guy that's lost like 80 pounds and then had a piece of cake. Because we went for 4th and 5 in that game early. We went for multiple 4th downs last week. So I'm actually encouraged at the aggressiveness. I do wish he went for that. You're playing the Chiefs. You got to go for that.
When the game matters, he didn't want to do it.
I don't. That annoyed me. But I think he's made like great strides there, and I think he's a really good coach. And I'm not afraid to call out the coach. When it's time for coach to go, I'll say it's time to go. But I don't think he actually gets enough credit for the job he has done in his tenure, the full body of work as the Chargers head coach. I do not. In his first year, they started 0-4 and had no fans and no one cares, and they still don't have fans, and they went 9-7. It was a fucking disaster. It was a kicking disaster. It was a nightmare. His second year, they had a great season. Great season. Last year, total clusterfuck, but a quarterback that you think that sucks and threw 80 interceptions. Is that the coach's fault? They lost all these close games because the quarterback threw 80 interceptions? So I actually, he's not going anywhere. That's one thing you got to realize.
Well, that's not good news because he's already calling your future star QB a backup. Shouldn't be playing.
He's
And
a backup.
also, every time that there's expectations and things get tight with them, they lose. When there's no expectations, they start 0-4 or whatever. They're playing free. They play great. Against the Chiefs, the 10-point dogs. Let's go out and play this game. They played great until it mattered, and they didn't have the guts to do anything.
Listen,
Now
thought
they're being 6.5 point favorites.
that's a big number.
Loss.
Oh, they're not going to lose this game.
Loss.
Oh, you're just trying to rile me up. I'm not going to buy any of that.
Carolina plus 6.5.
You're actually getting me off track. What a fucking amazing game. What an amazing performance. If you want to grade Burrow on a curve, and every good reason to grade Burrow on a curve, because they all deserve to be graded on a curve without a proper training camp or a preseason game, this guy didn't even take first team fucking reps in camp. Okay? An athletic QB throws an effortless football. Do you know what my biggest concern was after the game? Literally.
That he benched for Tyrod?
My 6th overall pick just played his first game. And you know what I'm worried about? Because everything on the field I thought was fantastic. There were mistakes. We'll run for that first down next time. We'll go the right way on play action. Those are rookie mistakes. Those are going to happen. The Chargers losing close games and Herbert looking good is literally the greatest thing that could happen this year. Nothing better could happen as an end result of the Chargers being close games, being competitive, and losing. The second Derwin James is gone. And Chiefs fans, they're real. They're a loyal bunch. They know what's up. When we got a full fucking deck, we're coming. We'll be fucking coming. But I'll say this for right now. Tim's circumstances suck. My circumstances, I feel great. I'll get back to my biggest concern. What was it? Had nothing to do with anything I saw on the field. My biggest concern about my 6th overall pick is if he's going to go see a proper dermatologist. That's how great he played. That's how great he played.
Didn't have the confidence, like Sam Darnold. Like Adam Gase with Sam Darnold, Lynn had no faith to let him go for it 4th and 1.
They went went for
No, but
4th
he can
and
be
5
special.
earlier.
Oh, that's great. When the game didn't matter.
Because listen, there's a development there that's going to happen.
They want to start
No,
Tyrod.
I'm
They
not-
want to start Tyrod. They do.
Listen, you're
That's
going
what
to
he
eat your
said.
fucking words. You're so lucky you might be right on Darnold.
Oh, I'm not going to be right about this one
Oh,
either.
we'll be here. We'll be here.
He
we'll be
looked-
here every
he
week.
looked good.
We'll
The
be
coach
here
has
every
no
week.
faith in him.
We'll be here every. It's up with faith. This
I
first
can't
fucking
wait till Pat
game.
Mayo's accountability day when he has to be accountable for his mistakes.
It's his first game,
I agree with Geoff.
and he went the wrong way the last time it was a big play. So maybe he's not ready, but he played great.
Get him back to the
and he
bench.
had
You
no
need to start
preparation
Tyrod.
time.
Tyrod's
No
not healthy.
preparation.
They're trying to win games. Got to start Tyrod. I would
Well,
not like this talk at
Get
all.
why
Listen,
a coach would
he's
say
down
that,
talking.
right?
Your
You have a coach that is literally defending a veteran who was in the hospital. That's
Exactly.
it. You've
Exactly
you've
right.
been down this rodeo too long. You're trying to pick a fight. You're going down the wrong path.
I know.
okay?
I couldn't get you fired up.
No, you're not getting
You don't
me.
knife Tyrod there. You can't do that.
You just got to let it play out. Herbert is going up against a historically bad defense with a week with the first team. Maybe it'll be a great game. Maybe it'll be a bad game. I don't know. The kid deserves it. Gets extra. You gave up. I've watched this league as long as all y'all. And I watched everyone draft quarterbacks, and I love it. And if you've been watching me do the show, I love all the quarterbacks. It's appointment viewing. I don't care what team they're on. When they play, I like to see. When they're playing in the preseason, it's not even my quarterback. This is the first time it's gotten to be my quarterback. I didn't even get to see a preseason. I watch everything. I watch the huddle. I want to see the eyes. Okay? Everyone gets a shake. Now my kid got his without a camp, without a preseason snap. I don't give a fuck about the Chiefs secondary. I don't care that we caught him off guard. This kid didn't get a team one rep. Here we are. And am I upset about Lynn? Do I wish we could maybe have been more encouraging in some comments about the kid after the game? Yeah. Does part of it feel like Lynn might not have even liked the draft pick because he loves Tyrod? That's annoying, Octavia. Okay, I've used the analogy in the preseason show with the win total, but guess what? Mom's young boyfriend came over and he played video games with me. And we had a blast. And he brought me baseball cards. And we are killing it. And I'm like, Mom, when's Justin coming over? Is Justin coming over? Oh, you're going out tonight? Oh, you're going out with Tyrod? I don't like Tyrod. He's so weird and mean. Oh, but he's nice to you? I don't care.
He's got a stable job. He has a pension.
This is going in a strange direction all of a sudden.
This has a chance. This could be weird, but I had I'm not excited. Derwin's hurt. The season means nothing. If I get to watch this kid, it's a problem for my wife because nothing else will matter. Every snap, every moment we're in now.
In Jeff's analogy, there is his mom banging Tyrod or Herbert.
Both!
Both. Oh my god.
It's fucking awkward! And Dad's in the Midwest and he's happy with his new family. And they're nice to me, and that's fine. This is all weird. It's all weird.
is
I was
getting
not.
very
I
weird.
was.
I would have, if it was me,
I was
and
on
I
the-
cared about a team like you care about a team, I would have looked at how Herbert played. It was great. I would want my coach to be like, that was fantastic. He's now the starter. Let's go.
It can't.
Now,
Why
you can't
can't-
do that to a guy who just went
You
to the
don't
hospital.
get it. You don't get it. You're playing a
Guys are
different
not
game.
supposed to
You're-
lose
you're-
their job according to injury like that. It's the guy just went
You
to the
lost your
hospital. You don't
job.
even
He
you
lost
don't
his
even
job.
know
He lost his job, but then you'll do it differently.
Yeah, he lost his job
Yeah.
the day that they drafted Herbert.
You're right.
No, you get
No.
why you can't.
No, no,
throw
no,
the
no,
guy
listen,
who-
listen,
You don't even know
listen.
his physical condition in the hospital.
Yeah,
at the moment.
exactly.
I can't just say, "Oh, well, this is our starter." No,
This is
coach
how it
in the-
works.
in the
Can I
world
just
would
tell you the
have ever
path?
said that.
Can I just tell you the
No
choose
coach.
your own adventure? The adventure here is the quarterback. He's a veteran. If he's healthy, he'll have the job.
That's not
Is
what he
the
said, though.
quarter-
He said that Herbert's the backup.
No, he was a backup for a reason. And here's the other part of it that people don't want to respect. And as an old school guy in how quarterbacks develop, I think they're hyper concerned about playing him being bad for his development in a weird way.
Who is that turned out bad for, though? It's either you know that they're good or you know that they're bad.
I agree with you. I want to go now. And it's Carolina. It's a historically bad defense. It's time to get confidence and a win, and let's go. But Lynn is Pat, I can't do this battle. Next week we can do this battle if Lynn doesn't just come out and say, God, I watched the tape.
He looks good.
And like that's what the coaches do. You'll defend the veteran, you'll defend the hurt guy for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. But then you come back later in the week, you say, I'll watch the tape.
It also matters who,
And he better
how the
hit him.
room feels
All right.
too, though, right, Geoff? The room matters too. If the room loves Tyrod, you have a lot of difficulty as a head coach saying, I'm sorry.
Problem is the coach
Tyrod got
goddamn
sick."
loves Tyrod. That's why I feel
Yeah.
like there's some like they're in bed together. And I feel bad for Lynn in this.
So your mom's boyfriend is cheating with your mom's other boyfriend on your mom?
She's on the market. She's been on the market for the first time in my whole life.
Yeah, both of her hookups are actually sleeping with each other.
I feel bad for Lynn in the sense that, I mean, you take a job, the Chargers are, I mean, he was one of those guys, like, he wouldn't have had options. He's like a guy like, oh, we just make him the head coach. He's not going to say no to any job. It could be on the moon. Like,
He could visit Moonland, Tim's creation.
Lunar Land.
Oh, yeah.
That place would be great.
you know, but he gets the job with the Chargers and Phillip Rivers is there. And I love Phillip and I could say whatever I want. That won't, you know how I feel about Rivers. But it feels like for years he's been stuck in this. For 3 years he was stuck with a quarterback he like didn't prefer and want. Now he seemed to have like gotten the guy he wanted. I was okay, Lynn. You really like this guy? You think this guy's good? I mean, we fought the Bengals, man. At least Herbert, like you could see that we just move the ball downfield. Your fantasy options will go.
They just looked like a real offense.
Yeah, an athletic. Oh, my wife even like she's to see a quarterback run. Like the whole family's excited. Bryson made par. He ran in that touchdown. I like literally. Woo. And then when he threw that touchdown to Guyton on like a third or fourth read, oh my God. So let's go. I'm excited. It's my turn. He's not Baker Mayfield. We didn't draft Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield replaced Tyrod Taylor. The Chargers did not draft a player who's an attention-seeking behavior whore who wants to do every photo shoot in the game.
Well, he's
who
trying to be
won't
an
put in
influencer,
the
make
work.
that $500K a year.
That's just not
If
who
he's
the
gonna get one
Chargers
big
drafted.
Contract, he probably should.
He's in that awesome commercial with Barkley. My favorite commercial that happens on Sundays. That Hulu commercial where they have their heads superimposed. It's great.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Cracks me up every
And
time.
I just thought that kicker was good because he was a Chief. Like, that's why he gets drafted high.
No, he's good.
Like, I knew he was good. Like a top 3 kicker, like good. But I even woke up the next morning, like still impressed. Like that was insane. If he missed, would people have been insulting Andy Reid for not going in on 4th and 1?
Maybe.
With Mahomes?
Potentially.
It's frustrating because Anthony Lynn and the Chargers defense were still able to force a 3rd and 8, which they got, and a 58-yard field goal, which they got. So I'm like, well, didn't that kind of prove it the right choice? And then the offside of that is, no, you literally got the perfect result and you still couldn't win. Like you got them to a 3rd and 8 and you got them to a 58-yard field goal and it still didn't like work out in your favor. They're amazing.
And Tyreek took his helmet off.
And we are getting to the quarterback without blitzing Pat. We got like the lowest blitz rate in the league.
Yeah, no, the defense looks amazing. That'd be my biggest worry in this game against Carolina by me taking Carolina plus the 6.5. The problem is like now that let's say Herbert starts. Now there's actually a week of tape on him that although this is the Chiefs were pretty banged up, but this is a worse defense by and large. But at least you know some tendencies now. Like just because Carolina's a terrible defense doesn't mean like they don't actually coach.
They'll be in position to do things against Tyrod. You're worried. You got to be worried about different things, and they'll be more prepared for it. Oh my God!
And you don't know what he can do.
I
You know
saw
what I mean?
my quarterback run a run pass option. I've never seen it before from a Charger.
Will they be in the blues this week?
The uniforms are all fire. There was one more thing. Oh, I'm concerned because my stat loving betting against we played a full 5 quarters. A full 5
Against
quarters.
an 0-2 team.
Against an 0-2 team. I could see if you want to go to the window here, but I think we can cause a bit of havoc. Getting a little grief. Bosa's endurance is an issue, but it's not.
Well, at least he's not out for the year like the good Bosa.
Yes. In that, what I mean is he's acknowledged the endurance, but he's like that pitcher. Like there's 100 pitches. And if we get to 115 pitches, it's just fucked. Do you know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah.
Like he'll give you everything he has for 100 pitches, but then he just can't go anymore.
So do you think he should be like a closer? Like he comes in on second and third
No,
down?
no. I
Or
just
he only
mean,
plays in the second half?
No, I just mean like once you get to overtime, it's just I don't know.
Well, that's
maybe
bad.
it's a-
Get him on a fucking treadmill.
Yeah, no, and he's acknowledged it, and it's more of like a conditioning through this season without the preseason, the proper thing.
He's playing his way into
I'm
shape.
not sort of worried about. He leads everything. He's first in pressures, in everything. He's like second in sacks, but he's a miracle. He's a monster.
So you're taking the Chargers, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers.
The coin and I are taking Carolina. With Tim, like Carolina has not covered the first 2 games of the year, but they should have covered the first 2 games of the year. Maybe they're that team that just blows it in the last 5 minutes every single week. Like they were 1 inch basically from going down. They got stopped on 4th and inches. Now, no, McCaffrey sucks, but if you're going to lose a player, lose a running back, like that's okay. You didn't lose. You're not starting Kyle Allen again. At least Bridgewater looks somewhat competent. And then last week, they can't stop Fournette on a run at the end of the game. I thought they probably would have covered that one too. They didn't. So that's worrisome. But 0-2 in covers. 6.5 is a lot of points for if it is Herbert. Now you have some tape on him that this game just feels like it's going to come down to the wire. They might lose by 7, but they might lose by 3.
Chargers will play close games against good teams and bad teams.
Yes.
Like,
They seem like that team.
Yeah, 100%. And we've never historically been good laying.
Not
these
great as favorite. Well,
sorts
Rivers
of
as a
numbers.
favorite just isn't good.
So
He's a much
yeah.
better dog.
So I'm a little worried about that. Sure.
So Tim, who are you taking?
I am very, very torn. Honestly, I think there are very good cases for both sides. I read on my sheet. I have a big old question mark as to which way to go. I will take Carolina.
Carolina.
Cover,
3
but
to
not
1
win.
on you.
But not win. Panthers.
I get it. I get it.
Chargers win late.
Ugly Chargers. Like we'll play teams like last week. It'll be close, and then we'll play teams that you think
Suck.
suck. And I want to make this point because I'm excited. I'm not thinking they're going to like win games. I'm not like thinking the playoffs. I just now have an excitement for the season that I certainly didn't have or didn't think I would maybe have had till later November.
So what happens if Herbert goes out and wins this game, looks good, and then they bench him for week 4? Like what happens then? Like if
I'll boycott the game versus Tampa.
Will you really?
I won't be able to breathe, but I'll boycott it. I think.
And then the next week against the Saints and the week after against the Jets.
I'll boycott one game.
Boycott the Jets game.
No, the next game. It's unacceptable. There's just life is it's just weird. And if this is the punch that we got thrown, you got to roll with it. It's just how the league works now. It's just how the league works.
I'm happy for you. I haven't seen you this excited in a very long time.
No, listen.
Yes, I'm happy for
I
you too.
watched
Like,
all
I'm
the plays
genuinely
again.
thrilled.
I watched the offensive plays again. He
You guys got
made
screwed.
Henry
You
look
should've
like
won.
it. Thank you. That rule.
Tyreek Hill took his helmet off.
That
They-
2-point
that's a blown
conversion
call.
should have been at the 17-yard line. I'm not even
Yeah.
upset. Lose a close game. I don't care. Make my quarterback look good. Lose a close game. Let me pick 8th overall. Get a left tackle. Get someone else. I don't care. When we have a full deck, you're all fucked.
Yeah, here's the problem. They never have the full deck.
So like
They always have the fucking Joker with like the
know.
Queen of Spades written in the top. That's what's happened at the Chargers.
we were close
The
this
seven of
year.
spades.
Remember, I said we're like 10 days away.
Dallas at Seattle. These last 3 games on the slate
Fire.
are awesome. I'm very excited for this. So the 2 of them are going to be like super shitty. Seattle's 4.5-point favorite, just like they were last week at home against Dallas this time, not New England. 55.5 is the over/under. Highest point total of the week. I will say it. I like Seattle a lot. I am picking Seattle to win. I am picking Seattle to cover. I don't think Dallas is very good. I don't. I just straight up don't think they're good. But Seattle's
Their
defense.
offense is, right?
Their offense is, but so is Seattle's offense. Like these are 2 teams that play no defense and have all offense. So watch the game be like 10-9 or something. But I just think Russell Wilson's better than Dak. I'll take Russell Wilson to cover the points again.
I will admit I didn't know that happened last week till like well after it happened.
The Sunday night game?
No, the
the
Cowboy comeback.
Oh, yeah. Like that's super lucky. They should have lost to Atlanta, who no one really thinks is very good. At home, too, with fans.
I'm picking Seattle.
Seattle reverse cursed as well.
Yeah, this is
Remember
just. Although, I'm really happy for the Cowboys and like for Dak.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like this offense. This defense was so bad.
Really bad.
And Seattle's defense isn't bad. They just get zero pressure.
And they got no. I mean, we're talking about concerns. Linebackers here, linebackers there. Aren't all their linebackers gone?
Yeah, and like Seattle's best pass rusher is actually Jamal Adams somehow.
He may be.
He's the only guy that gets into the backfield for them.
He played really well on Sunday night. He was making impactful plays all over the field. There's no doubt about it.
I watch him and it literally makes me sad.
Makes you sad. It makes you sad.
Wait, you didn't? You said your boy or the Mayo.
I am happy to have 2 first-round picks, and listen, he wouldn't have helped us this year anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
You said May last week was just as good as Adams.
May played really well against the Bills. He did not play well against the Niners, from what I saw.
Like I don't.
But I'm going to play the Cowboys here. These two teams historically tend to play very close, tight games. Saw it in the playoffs. We've seen it year in, year out when these two teams play, that they tend to play very tight, close
years
games.
ago, where
Didn't they play
Romo
last-
fumbled
didn't they
the
play last
snap.
year?
Like 2 years ago in the
2 years
playoffs, it
ago.
was 24-22.
He's
for-
right. Sorry.
Like,
yeah.
and then just like when you look at it, whenever these two teams play each other, just I don't know why it is. They just tend to play very nip and tuck games. So 4.5 points, it's too many points. So give me Dallas.
Seattle doesn't settle for field goals. They
No.
score touchdowns.
Seattle.
So
Dallas is going to give up
40
over
points?
30.
Yeah,
Well, they gave up 39 last week and they still won. So
yeah,
like, it's
I
not
don't.
like
I
they-
don't think that's super sustainable.
Yeah, but Atlanta will
don't
give
either,
up 40.
but it's enough to
Seattle,
cover the number.
Seattle at home won't give up 40.
I mean, they almost give it for. How
They gave up 30. If Dallas hangs 31, they're going to cover.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know
yeah.
about that. I'm very excited to watch this game. Is this the CBS game? No,
This would
Fox.
be Fox's doubleheader. This would be Buck and Aikman.
This
Yeah.
is what they call America's Game of the Week.
This is a
Pat.
good game.
Yeah, it is a great game.
Green Bay and New Orleans in the Sunday night game with Noodle Arm Breeze taking on MVP Rodgers. The Saints are now favored by 3 at home. It was 3.5. 52.5 is the over-under. This is just a straight public perception play, but I will take the Saints -3. I don't know who is betting on the Saints this week, but it'll probably be me. But you watch New Orleans get beat by the Raiders on Monday night. Green Bay looks unstoppable. And New Orleans is still opening as a favorite here by a touchdown or more in some spots. Like, nah, give me the Saints on a bounce back. We might get Michael Thomas back in this game too. He has to be cleared by the Packers doctor, though. I think it was Schefter tweeted that out.
That's a strange little quirk.
Because of the COVID stuff that they only have like so many medical professionals on staff and get clearance from the
Yeah.
game. The Packers doctor has to clear him to play.
Also, how do the coaches have to wear a mask? How are they not exempt from that?
I don't know.
They're
They're allowed
literally
to take it down when they call plays, apparently, but then they have to put it right
Optics?
back up.
I don't quite
Yes.
understand
they're
it.
involved.
It's
They're
definitely
as
that.
in there. They're like playing. They're in more. There is in. Whatever.
I
think
don't
it's-
quite understand, but I saw some people making the case like, oh, they have to take the test before the game. They do and they don't. Like, I think it's just because there's so many false negatives and false positives, like not the most reliable thing in the world, that they just
Yeah.
don't want to chance it. And like, if you can wear the Andy Reid like face guard, like what the fuck's the difference? I think that's what they're getting at. But it seems really bizarre to me too.
$100,000 for
Yeah,
this.
$100,000 fine, and the teams get fined $250,000 for it. I think it's just an
Oh, they were
optic.
warned last week. They got a warning last week, and people decided to flaunt it. You don't make the rules. You follow the rules.
I like New Orleans here. I just think it's a nice bounce back spot for them. Green Bay, maybe Green Bay is amazing, and I'm just not giving them the respect they deserve. That could definitely be the
Okay.
case, but they just beat the Lions and they beat the Vikings, 2 teams that we just kind of said on the show are terrible. So I do worry about this Breeze thing, though.
As someone that I guess you could say I was fortunate to have gone to bed last night, so I don't have these images of horrible Breeze in my head.
Just like the coin. The coin
So,
also didn't watch. the game.
me and the coin. I'm going to take the Saints, Pat, and let's remember, last week was a special exemption in the sense that the Saints are always a horrible team in the first couple weeks. But last week was special. It was the Brady game. It felt like the biggest, it just got them so zoned in. But if they had to play Jacksonville last week or something, I bet you that would have been a close game. Because that's just what the Sean Payton teams do. And I saw a thing, the Sean Payton teams are 2-14 ATS in weeks 1 and 2. We're in week 3 now. I didn't watch last night. Give me the Saints. Give me the Saints.
It was just a bad effort all around. Like, it wasn't particularly well
Yeah,
coached. They looked depleted. Breeze looked horrible. The defense looked really bad. Like,
And you could argue a bad spot too, right? It's the first game in a new city. I mean, yeah, there are no fans, but still, I don't know, look at the Chargers play their first game in a new building. God's sakes.
So, Tim, it's a round of New Orleans, except for you. Where are you going?
Green Bay. I wonder if Rodgers is going to play like this at MVP caliber. How many games am I going to get points with him this season? Not very many. So I certainly will. And this is an opportunity to play that tease. Tease is a really smart play here. Let's tease up the pack. And I get what you're saying. It's sort of fishy. The Saints will not be a popular team to bet this week. I get the sort of logic with grabbing the Saints here, but from what I've seen from Green Bay the last 2 weeks, they're sort of moving through the gears. And as long as that continues, I'm disinclined to step in front of them. So, yeah, give me the Packers, and we're teasing them up.
Tease them up to 9 in this spot for Tim. Yeah, like Michael Thomas may or may not play. Devontae Adams may or may not play. It's a really weird game overall. I just think the Saints right themselves and kind of get back at it a little bit. But this has all the makings of the Philly and Rams game from last week, where everyone lined up to bet the Rams. Everyone bet the Rams. And then late in the week, it's like, well, everyone's betting the Rams. I'll bet the Eagles. And the Rams just fucking killed. The initial impression was the right impression. And I think most people are going to be like, that's why it went from 3.5 to 3 already. People are like, Green Bay 3.5, I'm in. Just blindly in. And that's probably the right move. So I'm going to galaxy brain this and talk myself out of it. Monday night. It sucks because I hate watching the Monday night game. I'm with you. It's on too late. I have a busy Monday. I just spent all Sunday watching football. Like,
I'll be up though.
This is a great one. Kansas City at Baltimore. Baltimore is favored by 3.5 at home. 53.5 is the over-under. My initial lean when I looked at this, I was like, almost like Tim just said, how many times are you going to get a chance to get Rodgers in plus money? How many times am I going to get Mahomes with plus money? But I actually like the Ravens. The Ravens have been the most impressive team, probably besides Green Bay, in the NFL.
To me, this is a bigger game for the Ravens, and it's the reason I like the Ravens. The Chiefs got a Super Bowl.
And they just snuck out a game they shouldn't have won last week.
Yeah, and then maybe people we forgot when breaking down if people were betting the Chiefs, maybe would have liked to have, the Chiefs are losing early in that game, and then you see like an ad for Monday Night Football next week, like, oh my God, did I just lay 8 points in like the ultimate look ahead spot maybe for Kansas City? I just think the game means so much to Baltimore, if nothing else, based on like how these teams are performing in the playoffs. One team got the Super Bowl, one team gets bounced, one team will have questions to answer all year because of the playoff exit. The other team has a free pass all year until they get exited, which they might not. And they only got to get 2 first downs to kick a field goal for the rest of time now.
Well, it's so terrifying. Like, if you're like, we saw it in the Super Bowl, we saw it all last season, and anytime it's with Mahomes.
Chargers went to man defense, and he got the 3rd and 20 run. Is that what we're talking about?
No, I'm just saying that, like, any time that they're down in a game, it's like, oh, in 3 plays, this could be a tie game again. Like, it's terrifying.
Exactly right.
But with Baltimore, like, they're perfectly tailored to try to grind down the Chiefs in a way that the Chargers tried to do
but
but couldn't do it.
Exactly.
Well, but that's what the 49ers did. The 49ers did that perfectly for 3 quarters in the Super Bowl. But then the dam broke. And that's what's going to happen here again. I think going into the 4th quarter, it's going to be like 20-10 Baltimore. And then you blink, and the final score is 31-20 Kansas City or 31-24 Kansas City. Give me the Chiefs. I'm going to tease them up.
The dam doesn't break. The dam doesn't break because Harbaugh converts the 4th down. That prevents the dam from breaking.
That's
that
the point
just
I wanted
keeps
to make.
the level, the flowing that I need to flow.
All those things in between, like the little edges of these
that
games,
the 49ers
Harbaugh can take advantage of and will take advantage of, and has the personnel to take advantage of.
Certainly Lynn and the Chargers couldn't. Certainly Shanahan just didn't even trust his quarterback to try to, it seemed like at times. But Baltimore can play that script and can take that extra 2 minutes and just do the extra conversions. No knock on Kansas City. Hopefully this is the AFC preview. It'd be great.
You're taking Baltimore?
Yeah.
Okay. Tim, you're taking Kansas City?
I am, and then the last part of the tease.
You should really stay away from these Monday night tease games, especially if you go perfect.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's 5. True. I don't know why they are falling into my my circle.
All right, let's get to it. SUPERLOCKS of the week. Tim, you're 0-2. You're up first.
Oh, great. Let's see. I'm torn between the Rams and the Packers.
You should go head to head with Geoff on this one and take the Rams.
I think I'll take the Rams.
Oh, Paul,
Write it in.
Paul was just smiling.
Write it in.
Rams 2.5 plus 2.5. You're taking the Bills
I am
minus
taking
2.5?
the Bills minus 2.5.
So for me, I don't love any one game like I liked Arizona last week. I like Arizona in this one, but I picked Detroit just because Tim is trying to curse me. So I'm going to try to equal out his curse by taking the other side of it.
No, I'm not.
Feels like a 3-point game there. Tennessee feels like you want us to like say free. This is why it's so concerning to me. Like Indy and Tennessee both feel like free money. And that means
You told me that Pittsburgh was going to blow the Texans out. So why wouldn't you take Pittsburgh?
You're right about that. 3.5. The game I actually feel the most comfortable with is actually Washington plus 7 against Cleveland. And I think I get a better number on that. I'm going to take Washington plus 7 as my super.
Washington.
Survivor pick of the weeks.
Indianapolis.
You're taking Indy?
As 96% of those alive will be taking, I bet, this week.
He's giving me bad vibes about this game the way he's down.
Survive in advance. Then I get to pick against the Jets next week, too. I get to pick against the Jets week in, week out till that doubleheader against the Dolphins.
We're in
probably.
for glory either way. Like, the Jets are 2-0. Tim comes on here, Pat, and is complaining that the Super Bowl will be without fans, and it's not fair for him that the Jets are going to go and they'll be without fans and he can't, like, go. Like, that's the sort of conversation we'd be having if they're 2-0.
I'm gonna risk.
Is my tone wrong? Is my tone wrong, though, Geoff? Like, do you see reasons for green shoots? Or would you not be in as dark a place as I am? Let's be honest.
You should have been more prepared for what could have come, man.
Sure.
And I don't
So
know
I'm
what
only
made
learning
up.
that
I don't
now.
know what made up articles you saw that said you guys
We were
like
all
a top.
over Twitter.
Your feed.
I curate a pretty ecumenical feed.
I don't know who I want to take in Survivor because Indy's the very clear choice, obviously, as 10.5.
What's the second biggest spread? The
Cleveland.
Oh.
Who I am taking,
Cleveland.
and I think that's a risky game.
And you're betting Carolina. You can't bet the Chargers.
No, I don't want to take the Chargers in Survivor. I'm actually kind of looking at Philly against Cincinnati, and that is terrifying.
No, because that floor could come out on Philly.
And like, there's something about this New England game that terrifies me. Maybe I'll just take them.
Take the Hawks.
Who's Atlanta playing?
Atlanta's playing Chicago.
The Hawks are not the Atlanta Hawks. The
You're saying
Seattle
Seattle.
Seahawks.
I think Seattle.
They're
has-
home. 1-5. Again, you loved Pittsburgh so much.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still Survivor. That's a 3.5 point spread.
I mean, just take the Colts, survive, move on to the next week.
I don't want to be on with you and you get eliminated this week. I can.
Hey,
win it.
listen.
I can
between the
win
two
it.
of
Here.
us-
I can win it here with
Between
the
the
right
two
pick.
of us, who's had a perfect season, I believe the answer is not you.
Who here has won the most money playing Survivor? Pat
You're-
Mayo. How
respect-
much
that's not-
money? How much
that's
money
not
have
germane
you?
to the conversation
how
we're
many,
Not
How
germane to
much
the
money
conversation we're
have
having.
you ever won on Survivor? You know what the answer is? $0.
That's not germane to the conversation.
$0.
Not relevant.
Tim
Literally
is so
not relevant.
disingenuous. He went perfect on the show with his picks. Couldn't even play those in his own Survivor pool. That's
Because I couldn't remember
That's how
1 week.
disingenuous he is. I'm taking New
My-
England in Survivor.
That's how people know I've won the argument when it just turns into just an.
No,
just a
it's the same argument. I don't want to rehash the same argument we've had for 3 years. You're a phony and you're a liar. That's what it comes down
See,
to.
that's what I mean. It's just an aggressive.
No, you're
broadside.
trying to
That's how
take
I know I
credit for
win.
something that had nothing to benefit you whatsoever. It's actually embarrassing that it happened. You could have won
No.
so much money.
I'm happy for the credit. I got lots of credit from the people, even if you want to pretend like I didn't.
I mean, you got credit from the people this weekend. You refuse to acknowledge any of it.
I don't want that credit.
Oh,
You
so
know
now
what?
you're picking and choosing the credit that you want?
No, that's not credit. You know what? Bryson played great. I give him his due. It wasn't because of me that he won the U.S. Open. It was because he had a great 4 days. Like, don't give him the credit, not me.
Well, what
thank
about
you.
the-
Thank you for that, Tim.
He will thank you. What about all the people who think that you should be DMing? This is why you should get Instagram and being the anti-influencer. You should be DMing NFL players and asking them that you won't say that you like them this week so they don't blow out their ACL. That's money making. You're talking about buying these farms and villas. Like, that's easy money right there. You could get up to $500,000 a year.
I could be like Oliver Douglas on Green Acres. Yeah.
People who watch this show aren't 80 years old, Tim.
Realizes I
I
said
didn't
that.
know what that meant.
Well, it's a show from
He was
what,
the rich-
60s?
He was the one who was married to Ava Gabor, who was like the rich guy who lived out in the country, right? He still had his apartment. Anyway, whatever. Not
Don't you
important.
still like watch that show?
Well, yeah, Mr. Haney's on the show, and he's always making deals with him.
Tim suffers from brain injuries.
I love Tim's sensibilities.
Really? Would
I
you
also
like
like
them to be
Arnold.
your
No,
sensibilities?
I love.
Can you recap your free money teaser, please?
Absolutely. We are going to play the LA Rams, the Indianapolis Colts, the Green Bay Packers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Arizona Cardinals. 5-team, 6-point tees is, you bet a farm, you win 4 farms.
Or you can lose 22 in a row and be 0-2 for the year.
Yeah, but we're right on the edge. We came that close last week. And so we're it's going to come through one of these weeks. We're getting closer.
I feel like statistically it
Of
should.
course, I
it
didn't
should
say anything
come-
about it last night. Somebody decided to blow it up on Twitter last night when I wasn't saying a word about it.
Why weren't you saying a word though? Were you afraid you were going to
Because I
curse
hadn't
yourself?
won it yet. I was waiting to take my victory lap. I had a tweet saved in my drafts.
Oh no!
When did
Classic,
you write
Tim.
it?
Didn't tweet it out.
Sunday?
That's not what you do.
I did it Sunday night. As soon
Oh,
as that
Tim.
Patriots game covered, I wrote a little snarky one, but I saved it and I didn't put it out because I was waiting to get my win.
You had to
I had to
pre-write
delete it.
2 lines. You couldn't just wait.
What the tweet say?
No, you know what? It doesn't matter.
Can you
I
read
don't
us?
think-
I'm sure it's
Can
still
you
saved in your
read-
draft.
yeah,
Can you
read
please
us
tell
the
what
No,
it
I
draft.
says?
deleted it. I deleted it.
What did it
yeah,
say?
Right. You don't even know how to
It
delete
was-
drafts.
Like, oh, you people think that this is a terrible week for me. Well, look at this. I won some free money. Hashtag Top Cat knows. Hashtag 2 in a row. That's what I had
What's
written.
2 in a row?
I don't know what 2 in a row is.
Like I had just won 1. Now it's time for 2 in a row. Sort of like the
Why don't you
streak
get
that
what?
went.
You're 0-22. Why don't you just get the 1 out of the way first?
Well, I thought I had the 1 in. I was about to start a streak here.
Do you think
Anyway, I didn't. Remember, lesson learned. I won't write a draft again. I'll just think it and then not write it.
Paul?
Tim, do you think you're partially responsible for Notre Dame getting COVID and their game getting canceled this weekend?
Well, I thought it was Wake Forest who got the breakout, and that's why they're canceling the game. I saw
You may
that
be
though.
right.
I haven't watched a lot of Irish, but my goodness, they won 56-0 the other day. That's a good team.
Who did
That's
they
the team
beat?
that can win the national championship.
Well, you didn't watch it. Then how do you know if they're good or not?
Well, I watched the highlights afterwards, of course.
You
I was
watched-
watching the U.S. Open. It was sad. It was
you
the
watch,
US
you watched the
Open.
highlights of a game they won 56-0, and you think they were going to look bad?
Well, the fact that they won 56-0.
Well, who did
told me
they
that
beat?
were looking- South Florida, who the last time they played beat us at Notre Dame several years ago.
Well, I don't think they have the same players anymore, Tim.
They don't. Anyway, that team looks better than I thought they might. But who knows? College football is such a very fickle thing this year. It's the least I've been in college football into it in all my years. I can't remember the last time I was least hyped or nervous about it.
All right. You can find this cheat sheet up on Facebook at facebook.com/thepme. Remember to like the episode, and in the comments section, please leave your favorite over, under, or spread of the week. I'd like to thank Paul behind the glass, Geoff Fienberg for being in studio, El Coin, and Tim Undergust.
Tim Andergust.
Not my name. Adam Long is going to win this week.
We're not even in the fucking golf part yet.
I'm not going to be
What's
in that. So
wrong with you? Honestly, what's wrong with you?
much.
Oh my fuck. You looked like you had something to say.
No, I'm such an underserviced fan. Like the beat reporter, like the Chargers, no one cares, no one's talking. And I got this beat reporter that used to do a good job, and now he thinks he's some like celebrity. It's really fucking annoying. And we got like some
make it-
QB controversy.
Paul, make a note of this.
Making
For the,
what's his name?
No, I like him. Daniel Popper. He spoke, but
Daniel
just
Popper. Okay,
Let's make a note.
got it.
Thinks he's a celebrity now, does he, Jeff? What
Thinks
does
he's
he
a
have?
fucking big man, doesn't he, Jeff?
Is he verified?
yeah, he is.
Paul?
Oh, this is way late on it, but thoughts and prayers to the piece of paper that was in Jeff's hand when he said, "Pat, you're not gonna rile me up," and then he crinkled it so aggressively. We gotta pull that tape
I
back
could
up,
never get
replay it a
back.
couple
I tried
times,
to,
right
like,
around now.
I tried to like unwrinkle it to see the last couple games, but there was really nothing to salvage out.
Oh boy.
Excuse me.
When you do that, like in line at the grocery store, it says SIGs, not COVID, right?
yeah, exactly. It's actually terrifying.
You should have been terrified before COVID that that's a regular occurrence in your life.
It's not that regular. It's not
It
that
happens like
Just
twice
when-
a show.
Just when I'm laughing heavily. And
Which is that you suffer from PABs. You're constantly having laugh fits. Wah.
don't make me laugh.
Don't tempt me, Tim.
That's not
See, now
good,
that's-
Tim.
I
That
didn't
sounds
want to
bad.
happen.
That sounds really bad.
What color was it?
No, it doesn't matter. I'm fine. It's just it's dry. The air is getting dry, right?
We need to get a fucking nasal test for Tim COVID Cust over here.
Tim just let some tar out of his lungs. Okay.
Freed up. Too much gay. The laughing frees up the tar.
Excuse me.
Somebody call it. Oh wait, he is one.
Yeah, he is a doctor. Call yourself. Talk to Siri. Set her write it in your journal. Call myself later. Figure out what's wrong with me on
the
all
thing is,
fronts.
you cough much worse than I do when you're laughing hard.
Do I?
You do. You almost sound like you can no longer breathe at times when
Yeah.
you really get going.
Yeah, but I don't smoke weed anymore, so that doesn't happen to me anymore.
It still happens.
It doesn't actually.
The laughing.
I was outside getting a hat trick in when I found out Herbert was starting.
I don't know what that is. For us, our friends call a hat trick a junior chicken, a double cheeseburger, and a bacon cheeseburger.
I was just-
eaten in a particular order.
I was just
That's a
ripping him
McGangbang,
quickly,
isn't
like
it?
trying to shock the skull, you know? Bryson had a par putt. The football game was starting.
All right, well, that will do it for the video version of the show. If you want to see the golf picks, check out the quick video that we put up if you're still listening to the audio podcast. And hey, it's just coming up here in a second. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Rate and review. Go to ftnbets.com. Use code MAYO to get yourself a discount in the listeners league in the description of this video and podcast. Thanks for bearing with us. Second half of the show, definitely better than the first half of the show. Guaranteed on that front. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
That Mayo experience. Experience.